saltadina, or sandwich. It all comes with our never-ending super salad and all the breadsticks you want, starting at just $6.99. Get never-ending value for lunch today at Olive Garden.
Crashing, hit a wall. Right now I need a miracle. Hurry now, I need a miracle.
The issues we care about can weigh on us.
I need it.
So lift the weight of caring by doing.
Yeah, I need you right now.
Visit statefarmsneighborhoodofgood.com to volunteer in your community.
Constipated? Trust #1 doctor recommended Dulcolax. Use Dulcolax tablets for gentle, dependable relief, suppositories for relief in minutes, and Dulcoes for comfortable relief of hard stools. Dulcolax, designed for dependable relief.
Ready, set, go, go, go! One way or another, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you one way or another.
This is Life Alert. Are you okay? Help! I'm calling for help right now.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a life from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-963-6008. That's 1-800-963-6008. Call now, 1-800-963-6008. For a free brochure, call 1-800-963-6008.
Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy combines German-style Weiss beer with the taste of natural lemonade. It's as refreshing as refreshment gets. Leinenkugel's. Welcome to the Liney side.
Come on. Can you believe this cable guy? I took the day off for this. That's it. I give up. I'm taking a shower. Don't go, don't go, no! Oh my goodness, I'm here! Seriously? An entire day wasted for this.
I hear you. Now let's change that.
Yes.
Stop waiting for the cable guy. Switch to Dish and get reliable 75-minute arrival windows. Dish, tuned into you.
One way or another, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you one day. Maybe next week, I'm gonna meet you. I'll meet you. I will drive past your house and if the lights.
If you got a life, you got a Swiffer. At WeatherTech, we never stop inventing ways to keep your vehicle protected. From floor liners and cargo liners to dozens of other world-class quality products, including no-drill mud flaps and bump step. Nothing is better for your car, truck, or SUV than WeatherTech for your family, the whole family. Go to WeatherTech.com to find the ultimate vehicle protection, along with a full line of automotive accessories. Nothing protects like WeatherTech.
Welcome back to our coverage of severe weather. A couple of tornado warnings that we want to get you up to date on, and this is in western parts of Tennessee, so we'll zip on down and show you the newest of them, and that is right along Interstate 40 here. Benton County under warning until 5:15, and so the circulation that we're seeing is right in there, looking from a pretty far distance from the Nashville radar, but seeing a strong circulation nonetheless, and so let's take a look at where that's going to be headed. It looks like mostly rural areas here just north of Interstate 40 and moving to a little to the north of east. So that'll be coming into Coxburg in just the next couple of minutes. You want to get to your safe place immediately. Eagle Creek 447, Polecat 456, and Bakerville at 457. Possible tornado on the way for you. And then also another tornado warning, and that is Henderson County. This is south of 40, and we're still seeing a pretty strong circulation, but again, we're looking a very long way up. This is coming from the Paducah radar. We've been having some issues with the Memphis radar today, and so that is going to be passing, looks like just to the south or maybe right into Lexington. Heads up there in Lexington, possible tornado coming your way, and that'll be into Lexington at 450, Hinson Springs in the next minute or so, Warren's Bluff at 455, and Darden at 503. Now, I can tell you as we look at this circulation sitting right there that we have been seeing some evidence of debris. It's not real clear. Again, we're shooting way up in the atmosphere at about 10,000 feet, but we are seeing some lower returns, so that may be evidence of an ongoing tornado there. And again, that's coming right into Route 22 and into Lexington, particularly the south side of Lexington. So please, folks, want you to get to your safe place immediately in that area, and we'll have more on that coming up in just a few minutes. Chris, over to you.
All right, Carl, thank you so much. Keeping our eyes on the Northeast as well, including Western PA. Here's a live look at Pittsburgh. 67 degrees, looking pretty nice. However, things are going to be changing for you. More clouds and more rain rolling into Pittsburgh. Let's take a look at that eastern rain and the thunderstorm chances here. And you're going to be seeing your best bet for rain later on this evening and then clearing up by tomorrow afternoon. Things will be eventually improving. However, cooling down as well. Your Wednesday morning lows 42 compared to tomorrow morning's low, that'll be 53. So a lot of severe weather happening right now from Kentucky southwards and a little bit to the east, but associated with the same system, we're going to watch the clouds increase and then eventually some showers and possibly some thunderstorms. Timing it out now. Here's the time. It's Monday, 6 o'clock in the evening, and we're going to watch mainly the severe weather threat stay to the south. However, within some of these areas, it's possible to have some thunderstorms by the morning hours into the afternoon. Could see it again a little bit here through New England. Chance for some rain showers. Not expecting a super soaker by any stretch of the imagination. Most areas up to about an inch from the Great Lakes over into the Northeast. Here's New York. Best bet for some rain is going to be late tonight, and then the hit and miss showers through the day tomorrow. That's the rainy side of things. Some areas have a chance for at least a little bit of snow. Let's go to Nick Walker for that. Hey, Nick.
Hey, let's talk about Maine a little bit, okay? Because you are under a winter weather advisory here for the northern part into down east. Bangor to Caribou could see some snowfall here. And the northernmost areas, maybe as much as a half a foot and more. It's all because of two areas of low pressure that are helping to draw moisture northward. Now, as Chris mentioned, most of this is going to fall in the form of rain here. But just one area that has temperatures that are cool enough is going to see some wintry weather. Not just snow either. We're talking about the possibility of some sleet, maybe some freezing rain mixing in, that wintry mix as we call it. So here's your timeline on the future radar here. Notice the blue, the pink is that wintry mix we're talking about. The sleet, maybe some rain and snow mixed together. As we get through the day on Monday, we'll continue, on Tuesday, the morning hours, we'll probably see some lingering snowfall here, and then it's done by Tuesday afternoon. But 5 to 8 inches there around Caribou, lesser amounts as you move toward the south. Well, we're tracking a tropical invest in March. That's right.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when this guy got a flat tire in the middle of the night, so he got home safe.
Yeah, my dad says their insurance doesn't have that. What?
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Mom, Dad, we need to talk. In case you haven't noticed, things have changed. I'm not the same person I used to be.
I think it's time we take things to the next level.
Kids grow up. So do vacations. 3 theme parks. 5 resort hotels.
I'm ready.
Are you?
Universal Orlando Resort.
Please get to the lowest level.
We have a charge. We have a responsibility.
We have live team coverage tracking.
To provide information to people to help them stay safe.
This weather is affecting people and their relatives across the country.
Our team's taking you into the storm with live reports and expertise you won't get anywhere else.
We are scientists, we are meteorologists, and that makes a tremendous difference.
When it comes to a weather situation that warrants attention, we're the place to go. It's that simple.
Grilled burgers go great with Bush's baked beans. But if I'm feeling bolder, I go for Bush's grilling beans with steaks or chops.
Dude, I like this new wild side.
Bush's Beans. We've got a bean for you.
The beer that's as refreshing as refreshment gets. Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy.
Type 2 diabetes? Listen up. We're not professional athletes, but that doesn't mean we're giving up.
I'm in this for me.
For me. Along with diet and exercise, Farxiga helps lower blood sugar in adults with type 2 diabetes, lowering A1C by up to 1.2 points.
Do not take if allergic to Farxiga. If you experience symptoms of a serious allergic reaction, such as rash, swelling, difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking and seek medical help right away. Do not take Farxiga if you have severe kidney problems, are on dialysis, or have bladder cancer. Tell your doctor right away if you have blood or red color in your urine, or pain while you urinate. Farxiga can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, genital yeast infections in women and men, serious urinary tract infections, low blood sugar, and kidney problems. Stop taking Farxiga and call your doctor right away if you have signs of ketoacidosis, which is serious and may lead to death.
I'm in this for my family.
I'm in this for me.
Ask your doctor about Farxiga and learn how you can get it for free. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Beyond is a natural pet food that goes beyond assuming ingredients are safe to knowing they are. Going beyond expectations because our pets deserve it. Beyond, natural pet food.
Why pause a spontaneous moment? Cialis for daily use treats ED and the urinary symptoms of BPH. Tell your doctor about your medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain or Adempas for pulmonary hypertension, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have a sudden decrease or loss of hearing or vision or an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis.
Life in the NFL was tough on my body. I live with muscle and joint soreness every day. And life after football can be just as tough. That's why for knee and elbow support, I choose CopperFit.
CopperFit, advanced compression garments to help relieve muscle and joint soreness.
With my active lifestyle, my body reminds me it needs the support.
High-performance fabric to aid in faster recovery, performance, and guaranteed relief of muscle aches and pains, and blended with odor-reducing copper. Call 1-800-789-6841 or on the web at getcopperfit.com. Get your elbow or knee for $19.99. Order now and you'll receive a second sleeve. Just pay separate shipping and handling.
For this old arm, I choose CopperFit. Go. Oh, come on. That was a perfect pass.
Feel the relieving power of compression. Feel the power of CopperFit.
Well, listen, it's smart.
Yeah. Weather Underground, weeknights at 6.
I think that's smart.
Welcome back. We are following severe weather now across parts of the Mid-South, and there are a couple of tornado warnings in western Tennessee we want to tell you about. This is west of Nashville on either side of Interstate 40, and the most recent tornado warning now in effect for Decatur and Henderson counties. That is going until 5:30 p.m. The motion here is now just about due east at 30 miles per hour. Also a concern for tennis ball size hail. That's not a big surprise, as supercell storms, rotating storms, are also very likely to produce large hail. And so there you see the couplet, as we call it, this area of red and green right in there. That is the strong circulation that's now coming into the south side of Lexington. We've been looking at what may be some evidence of debris there, some lower returns. It's been a little difficult to tell because we're shooting from the Paducah radar. We've been having issues with the Memphis radar, and so we're looking way up in the atmosphere, but we do still see a very strong circulation. And so let's see where that's going to be headed. And that's going to come right across, looks like Route 412, and possibly towards Darden. So in Darden, you want to get to your safe place. That'll be moving into Shady Hill in the next couple of minutes. Darden 5:05, Beacon at 5:08, and then Parsons at 5:13. Possible tornado coming your way. At a minimum, a strong storm with a very strong circulation and a large hail threat, but possibly a tornado as well. We did have a report of a tornado to the west with that very cell. Also now, tornado warning for Benton County, and we'll zip on in and take a look at this. Here too, pretty strong circulation, but we're also looking fairly far up. That blue is showing you where wind is going toward the radar. That darker return there is where it's moving away from the radar. We'll see if they decide to reissue, as this is now just about out of that warning area. There's a severe thunderstorm warning farther east, but possible tornado moving towards Cagletown there, and also Bold Spring and the Blue Creek School here in just the next couple of minutes. Does look like that is loosening up just a little bit. Now we're down into northern Alabama. That is Marion County under warning. Very big hail core now coming into Hackleburg, and that's going to be moving into Haleyville eventually. Also another strong storm and a big hail core now just southwest of Bremen, and that's going to come across 65 and up into Cullman, maybe northwest of Garden City. Another little bow echo developing. This is near Huntsville. Limestone, Madison counties under warning right now. Look at the surge of wind that is now just to the west of Huntsville. So right in there, that is 60 and perhaps 70 mile per hour wind. Looks like it's going to come across the north side of the Huntsville area, getting into Clarkdale at the top of the hour, Cavalry Hill at 5:10, and Meridianville at 5:17. And also warning here in southern Tennessee, that's Lincoln County under warning, and some strong winds now just about outside of the warning area. There's the leading edge of that strong wind right in there, and that's going to be coming into Huntland here in just the next few minutes and making its way towards Broadview and also into Belvedere. We're going to have much more on this severe weather coming up at the top of the hour. Nick, Chris, over to you.
All right, Carl, thank you so much. And at the top of the hour, Weather Underground.
Let's head downstairs now and see what the team has in store for us tonight. Mike and Alex join us now live from the Weather Cave.
Hey guys, good to see you this evening. Come out tonight on Weather Underground. We're going to continue obviously to track severe weather across the south. The risk of dangerous storms increases through the night.
Yeah, plus hurricane season in the Atlantic still a couple of months away, but there is a major cyclone, Debbie, making landfall right now in Australia. We are going to take you there for a live report.
And of course, you know him best for his field coverage of big storms right here on the Weather Channel. But tonight, he's hanging out right here in the cave. Meteorologist Mike Siddell joins us live to talk about his 25 years of covering weather.
And we'll also ask him what are his favorite moments. Maybe he can even tell us some of the stuff he didn't like so much. We're gonna try to get it out of him.
And don't forget
the side-out lean.
The side-out lean he's infamous for now.
It's a new dance move in the clubs,
Back
from what
to
I
you.
understand.
All right, thanks so much, guys. Hey, we're going to take you through the next few hours with more severe weather threats. Let's show you where they might be, all the way from the Ohio Valley down through Middle Tennessee, all the way down into Mississippi, portions of Louisiana as well. Torcons of 3 here in western Tennessee, North Mississippi, and into western Kentucky. We'll continue to see hail threats as well as damaging wind threats as well.
And here at the Weather Channel, we will continue to follow the very latest warnings as they develop throughout the evening. Woo TV is coming up next.
Coming up tonight on Weather Underground, a very active weekend of severe weather while those storms continue tonight.
Now, halfway to the ground. This thing is growing. It's getting further to the ground. And David, we are on
the south at risk right now for strong storms with damaging winds, tornadoes, and
you got it, hail, and big hail, adding to what's already been a record pace for hail reports this year.
And this dangerous pattern continues all week. We're going to break down the latest timing and where the tornado threat increases tomorrow.
Plus the tropics and where this intensifying cyclone is making landfall right now. We're going to take you there live. Weather Underground starts right now. And welcome in everyone to the show. Severe storm coverage for you tonight as we're going to track round after round of storms. I'm Mike Bettis.
And I'm Alex Wilson. The parade of storms kicked off early last week and won't let up anytime soon. We're going to be with you for 3 hours tonight to keep you ahead of the varying threats from this series of thunderstorms. Right now, I want to give you a look at Memphis, Tennessee. Blue sky and some of those cumulus clouds, 81 degrees. The storms, though, have been working through the Nashville area as well. We've seen some reports of downed trees there. Let's get the very latest on where the storms are tracking, where the threat continues into the evening. Carl Parker joins us from the lab.
Alex, we're watching a very vigorous shortwave now coming across the Mississippi Valley, and you can really see that showing up on the water vapor picture. Very pronounced spin right in there. And along with that, there's a large area of stronger upper mid-level winds, and that's right in areas where you've got warm and humid air. So that's where the severe threat is. You can see how the severe thunderstorm warnings line up with that quite well. But notice also tornado warnings here in western parts of Tennessee where we have some low-level wind shear, winds coming out of different directions in the lowest 5,000 feet of the atmosphere. So that's where we expect to see supercell storms. And in fact, there is a tornado warning now for Decatur and Henderson counties. There was a tornado reported with this cell farther to the west. We'll zoom on in. The radar coverage is not spectacular here, but that is the couplet right there. That's the area where winds are coming toward the radar and moving away from the radar right in there. So we know that there's a pronounced spin in the mid levels of this storm, and we can take that forward and see where it's going to be headed. It's moving to the east, maybe just a little north of east, about 30 miles per hour, coming into Darden here in the next few minutes. Beacon 512, Parsons at 518, and getting into Howard at 525. Another thing that we can see is some evidence of debris right in there, right where you've got that couplet. In fact, that's showing up pretty well right now. I'm going to go back to the velocity signature. So right in there, that's where you've got the tightest velocity signature. And right in there, you notice also those yellowish colors. Here's another way of looking at that. You see the greenish colors right there. So what this is doing is separating meteorological targets, rain, hail, in red from non-meteorological targets, and that's in green or blue. And it's telling us that there's debris that's being wafted into the air. So there's a likely tornado there. And again, that is now right along 412, just south of 412, and coming towards Darden. So please get to your safe place immediately as you've got a possible tornado coming your way. To the north of that, severe warning for Hickman, Humphreys counties. We were looking at a tornado warning here, and the velocity has since loosened up just a little bit. And also some very strong storms now into northern Alabama. And look at the hook on this guy right in there. So that is definitely a rotating storm. We'll need to keep a close eye on that for possible tornado. Big hail core now coming into Hackleburg. Looking at the velocity data, I'm not seeing a real strong velocity signature right now, but something that we do need to watch. Also, Coleman County under warning, big hail core coming into Bremen right now and generally towards Coleman. And then we've got a little mini bow now on the way for Huntsville. Right in there, look at that area where winds are surging forward, and that is now knocking on the door there in Huntsville, and you're going to be looking at some 60-mile-per-hour wind coming into Brandontown at 509, Huntsville at 515, and Moores Mill at 521. So still really active across a good part of the Mid-South and also up into the Ohio Valley. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Carl. Well, the threat certainly does not end tonight. People in cities all across the southern plains and deep south need to be on alert in the coming days as the next round of storms develop. Midland, Texas, Dallas, Jackson, Mississippi, looking at 3 cities that will be watching again for the threat of storms as we get into the middle part of the week. So let's take a look at where we've got the severe thunderstorm watch right now, all the way from Mississippi and Alabama up into parts of Indiana, much of Kentucky. So we've got some new areas now extending into northwest Georgia, getting towards eastern eastern Tennessee as well as eastern Kentucky and a bit of Virginia. So here is the threat tomorrow. We kind of go back to where it all began late yesterday and into the end of the weekend. We've had the storms around Oklahoma City, Dallas. We'll also be watching Amarillo, Abilene, and San Angelo as the next system digs in. There it is, that new storm system developing with a dry line surging east. Moisture once again in play out of the Gulf of Mexico, and those strong low-level jet stream winds could allow those turning of winds with height, because those upper-level winds will be punching off to the northeast, and that upper-level jet will help enhance lift. So we'll have a lot of lift in the atmosphere. We'll have that turning of winds with height, winds varying with speed with height as well, and that could give us some rotating thunderstorms. There's the future radar as we get into the afternoon hours tomorrow. North central Texas, western Oklahoma seeing the storms. They'll continue eastward as we go through the evening and overnight hours. Your early morning hours of Wednesday could be stormy in Dallas, as will be the mid-morning perhaps. So could see 2 rounds of storms around Dallas. Wednesday's severe threat including Oklahoma City, Dallas, then Houston, Shreveport, right towards the Tennessee, Arkansas state line, right along the Mississippi River. We've got to watch for that potential for strong or severe thunderstorms. Then on Thursday, we watch Memphis to Nashville, Birmingham, Mobile, New Orleans, Jackson, and St. Louis. So once again, we get into some of the same areas, Mike, that we see the storms in right now.
Well, let's go city by city so people can understand what their threat is, because for many of you, you have to understand if there's a tornado risk coming your way and what the time is going to be for the hours that you're out there paying attention to the weather. Midland, Amarillo, and Wichita Falls. Tomorrow in Texas, 3s and 4s are our torcons, so a 30 to 40% chance that you could see tornadoes tomorrow. So obviously some conditions that are becoming more favorable now for severe weather. Wichita Falls, look at this. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock in the morning, you actually have thunderstorms in your forecast, and they continue through mid-afternoon. Now, once we get into that prime time hours here, 4 o'clock around 10 o'clock, that's when storms could become very violent. In fact, that's when we could see our highest risk for tornadoes. Let's take you to Dallas and time this out for you, because you look at it on the map, it gives you a pretty good idea of what your risk is when things come in. That's 6 o'clock tomorrow. Wichita Falls just now starting to come into your area with a bit of a squall line here. Then that line comes into Fort Worth around 2 o'clock in the morning. So Dallas-Fort Worth right along I-35. It comes in the middle of the night. And then around 6 o'clock in the morning, it's working its way out, but it still means you're going to have a fairly wet commute for you here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. For a place like Oklahoma City, Dallas to Shreveport, midweek now, torcons of 3 here are roughly a 30% chance that we could see some tornadoes. So obviously some very active weather in the days ahead of us. So just be aware of where you live, what time of day these storms are coming in, because it's springtime now and here they come, but it's not the last of it. We've got another round that comes after this.
We do, and we're going to be talking more about round 3 as those weather disturbances parade eastward. There's Thursday, the mid-level spin. You see that into parts of the Southern Plains, but there's the next one coming into the Pacific Northwest as we get into Friday, parts of the Southwest. Saturday and Sunday we'll be watching into the plains.
So now it's next week. Now we turn the calendar to April and knows what happens here in Wichita. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, showers or storms are back in our forecast again. We just have to wait for that low to eject down into the Southern Plains. Once it does, taps into Gulf of Mexico moisture, and we're off to the races.
And we could be dealing with it all once again. There's Dallas forecast. There's the midweek system Tuesday and Wednesday. Then Saturday and Sunday, you've got the threat of storms once again in the cards. And we've got a lot more still to come on Weather Underground. We're going to talk more about severe weather as well as the potential for damaging hail. It's going up tonight. We're going to show you who's in the bullseye and where the threat will continue for days to come.
Plus, the Atlantic hurricane season months away, but the tropics alive right now. Find out where there's a major tropical cyclone making landfall, and we will take you there coming up.
You need some help?
No, I'm good. Come on, Mom. You have to go.
We always trusted our Subaru Impreza would be there for him someday.
Hey, that's it.
We just didn't think someday would come so fast.
See you later, Mom.
Introducing the all-new Subaru Impreza, the longest-lasting vehicle in its class. More than a car, it's a Subaru.
Search for a really strong glue that's clear.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Clear glue. Clear Gorilla Glue.
Of course. Gorilla Glue strength in a crystal clear formula for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Do you feel that? That's the feeling of awe. And the sense of calm as it washes over you. leaving you to just sit back and enjoy. Let all your travel worries drift away thanks to 24/7 help with the Travelocity Customer First Guarantee. Travelocity. Wander wisely.
Every yank of your tank is a tug of war. It's about time someone declared war on the tug. The Duluth Trading No Yank Tank. Stop yanking and get cranking. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
He's not picking up.
You surprised? Tortured his father. Sari's not here.
We want to know what operation he's running and how to find him.
Put the building on lockdown.
What's happening?
They're here. Move! Move! Are you okay?
You need to get out of here, John.
24 Legacy, all new tonight on Fox.
I covered my tracks, John. They won't find any evidence connecting me to those terrorists.
Call you back.
Is this my car? State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, This is ridiculous! there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up! That's why State Farm is there.
What a day.
With car insurance for when things go wrong. What a day! But also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
I'm proud of what the Weather Channel is. It's a place you can turn to and trust.
Our team's taking you into the storm with live reports and expertise you won't get anywhere else.
We are meteorologists, and that makes a tremendous difference.
When it comes to a weather situation that warrants attention, we're the place to go. It's that simple.
Start your day with Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno, opening the window to your weather on AMHQ. Mornings on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back, everyone, to Weather Underground, staying on top of severe weather for you this evening up here in the lab now with Carl Parker. We're going to be sticking with you for several hours tonight to keep you ahead of the threat, but a lot of warnings right now, Carl.
A lot of warnings, and we've got this area where we're most concerned about supercell storms because of the low-level wind profile, with winds coming out of the south at the surface, but then coming out of the southwest at about a mile up in the atmosphere. When you've got that kind of directional shear, that gets rotation feeding into these developing storms. So right in the middle of that area, that's where there's now tornado warning for Decatur and Henderson counties. That's going until 5:30. As we look at the velocity data, we're still seeing a very strong signature. Now we're looking from the Nashville radar, so a very long way off. We're looking at the mid-levels of the storms, but that is still a strong rotational signature. Let's see where that is going to be headed in the next few minutes here. It's coming right into Darden right now, maybe the south side of Darden, and then generally out and across Route 412. So moving into Beacon in the next few minutes. Parsons at 518. Busseltown 526 and 528 getting into Pope. And another thing we can do is look for the presence of debris, and I'm seeing a pretty strong signature right now. Looks like it's being corrupted a little bit, but it does look like we've got some debris being lofted into the air. So at least for a time here, a tornado associated with that strong signature. And again, that is coming into Darden right now. So please get to your safe place immediately there. Then well to the south of that, some warnings in northern Alabama. Got a warning here, and that is for Marion County. That storm coming into Haleyville, looking at a little appendage on the southwest side. We'll need to monitor that for rotation. And we got a report of some golf ball size hail in Cullman County, Mike, and that warning going until 5:45. Back to you.
All right, Carl, thank you very much. Well, here in the lab, I want to keep you updated on what your threat will be through the evening. And there's an acronym we use for severe weather. It's called SLIM. Shear, lift, instability, and moisture. 4 key ingredients that you need for severe weather. And this evening, we're going to focus on a place like Nashville, Tennessee, and 2 of those ingredients, instability and shear, and what your risk will be because of it. So we're going to profile the atmosphere 3-dimensionally through the night tonight. Now, when you take a look at this, what you're looking at is an increase in instability as you go up in the atmosphere. Okay, so right down here, down at the surface, okay, we've got relatively low instability. We just got a thin little amount of it. What instability is really the amount the atmosphere wants to rise. And when you get rising motion in the atmosphere, you can actually get thunderstorms to build here. When you get big towering thunderstorms, those are the ones that can often produce the most damaging effects of the weather. So you go up 10, 15, 20,000 feet, you're getting incredible instability here. It actually increases what you go up to about 15,000 feet. So what this does is support strong updrafts in a storm, and this is one of the reasons we think that hail is a big threat for you this evening in a place like, say, Nashville. There's the, up at the top here, that's where the, that's where the very unstable area is up at the top here. So for many of you, just be aware of what your risk is going to be through the evening when it comes to hail. Now I'm going to show you something like shear in the atmosphere, and what that does, there's directional shear and then there's speed shear. If you get a change in wind speed direction with height, that's known as directional shear. So when you go higher up in the atmosphere, we see we're about 52 miles per hour wind, but now look down here near the surface. It's actually just single digits, but notice here that the wind doesn't change a huge amount as far as direction goes, really about less than a 30-degree change here. What that means is we've got more speed shear than we have directional shear. What that allows to happen in the atmosphere is the thunderstorm can actually begin to tilt a little bit more, and that'll actually keep the updrafts and downdrafts from being right next to each other. The storm won't choke off as much, and hail can be created and then pumped out on the front end of the storm. So hail, we think, and winds could be a big issue for us tonight in Middle Tennessee, and lo and behold, Nashville is right in the heart of that, Alex.
Right, exactly. One of those areas that's already seen some reports of wind damage. Here's your hail threat today. The best threat of the big hail, we're talking 1 inch or greater in diameter. That's going to be off in western Tennessee, also parts of Alabama and Mississippi. But there's your wind threat, and it does include a place like Nashville as well as a good part of western and central Kentucky.
Big threats tonight. Doesn't necessarily have to be tornadoes to be a damaging night.
No, we've seen that play out over the past few days. Hail last night and then the wind last week.
All right, we come back. We head to the tropics. We're going down under for Debbie.
Dish was founded on innovation to cover the millions of Americans the cable companies wouldn't. Why? Because when we've gotten it right, it was when we were listening. Not to ourselves, but to our customers. And I'm here to spread the word. But I'm not a spokesman. Instead, I'm a spokeslistener. And I'm here to listen in an industry that doesn't. Why? Because at Dish, we're tuned in to you.
Aleve Direct Therapy.
TANS device.
A relief from lower back pain.
I put it on my back. I feel this electrical pulse grabbing at my muscles.
It was more powerful than I was expecting it to be.
It worked. I believe Aleve.
Learn more and read reviews at Aleve.com.
You do all this research on the perfect car, then smash it into a tree. Your insurance company raises your rates. Maybe you should have done more research on them.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I want the most out of my health and life, so I trust Nature Made vitamins. Because they were the first to be verified by USP for quality and purity standards, and because I recommend them as a pharmacist.
Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand.
A month of madness. At Outback, here's our 3-point shot. 1, take our bloomin' onion. 2, cover it with Aussie cheese fries. 3, top it off with our centre-cut sirloin. The 3-point bloomin' onion. Over $25 worth for just $12.99. Hurry in, it's for March only.
Thought a lot about what you said.
About not being treated like a little kid anymore. Staying up later.
Being more adventurous. You just have one thing to say about that.
It's about
time.
Kids grow up. So do vacations. 3 theme parks. 5 resort hotels. Universal Orlando Resort. Make a splash with a 3-park vacation package, including Universal's all-new Volcano Bay water theme park.
It's amazing out there to me means, just the beauty of what is around us. A beautiful sunrise, waves crashing on the beach, enjoying that first snowfall of the season, watching a tornado spin in the plains of Oklahoma. To me, that's what it's amazing out there is.
Hi, Phil Swift here for the Flex Seal family of products. Everyone loves Flex Seal, the easy way to coat, seal, and stop leaks fast. Just a quick shot fills cracks and holes, stopping the toughest leaks. It's actually liquid rubber in a can. And our incredible Flex Seal liquid starts out super thick and turns into a strong, flexible rubber. Brush or roll on large areas for a watertight seal. Pour into cracks to stop hard-to-reach leaks. Even dip tools for a tough, no-slip grip. And with Flex Shot, you can caulk, bond, and seal virtually anything. There's no need for a caulking gun. Simply push the trigger to make quick repairs, making it ideal for kitchens and baths. With the Flex Seal family of products, you could save thousands in repairs. Imagine everything you could do with Flex Seal. Flex Seal Liquid and Flex Shot. Order now.
If you love the window seat, start your day opening the window to your weather with AMHQ. Mornings on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back to our ongoing coverage of severe weather. Watching very strong storms now across parts of the Mid-South, including Tennessee. This is in western Tennessee and along Interstate 40, just south of Interstate 40, west of Nashville. Decatur, Henderson County under tornado warning. We had a tornado reported with this cell earlier, and so we're looking at the circulation. A little bit difficult to see with the radar coverage here, but the circulation sitting right in there. That is south of Darden, and so we can figure out where that is going to be headed next. We'll time this out. It's moving to the east at about 35 miles per hour. And so that'll move into Parsons at 524, Bunches School at 531, and Bustletown at 532. I can also tell you that as we look at that circulation, we've been watching some debris being lofted by the storm. Here is a look at that debris signature. It's not showing up, and it's very noisy right now, so it's a little bit difficult to tell. Not showing up quite as well as it was earlier, but right in there, that's your circulation. And we are seeing some lower values there in that yellow color, indicating that there could have been some debris here. We could have been talking about a tornado on the ground very close to Darden. We'll have more on that coming up in just a few minutes. Mike, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Carl. Well, let's head halfway around the world tonight, where Tropical Cyclone Debbie's getting close to making landfall here in Australia. Main threats from Debbie right now: strong winds, surge, and flooding from the heavy rainfall.
Yeah, and joining us now on the phone is storm tracker Josh Morgerman. He is in Queensland area right now. Josh, tell us what time it is, and you know, you've been following this through the night. I think it's a morning on Tuesday. So what are you seeing now as this gets closer to you?
Oh, yeah, this one's been a total endurance test. So I'm in a little town called Bowen, town of 10,000 people right on the coast of Queensland. And what happened overnight is this equivalent Category 3 hurricane, that's what we would call it if it was in the United States. It basically, the inner core of it stalled right offshore. So what it means is just basically for the last 12 hours, we've just been getting hammered by outer rain bands, gale force winds. But that inner core, that punch, has not yet hit us.
So, Josh, what are you anticipating once that eye gets basically right on top of you?
Yeah, the landfall is going to be very close to here, and we're expecting it probably around noon. And it's going to get pretty hairy, we think, because it looks really good on radar. It's got a very solid eye wall, and that suggests the winds are going to be real intense. And this town's fairly old. It's got a lot of kind of tin roofs and stuff like that. I expect a lot of flying debris. I think it's going to be very treacherous once the core reaches this town.
Yeah, it sounds very dangerous. How many storms have you tracked in Australia? Is this a rarer place for you to go?
Actually, this is my first Southern Hemisphere cyclone, so this is a first for me. I chase all around the world, but I've always been in the Northern Hemisphere. Now I've finally done all hemispheres with this one, so it's an occasion for me.
Well, Josh, hunker down. It's bearing down on you now. The view on the radar and the satellite is truly astounding, and we look forward to seeing more of your pictures as well. But thanks for being with us. We'll check back in with Josh here in just a little bit.
Yeah, be careful. We've got a couple other tropical tidbits for you. Two hurricane names from last season, Matthew and Otto. They've officially been retired. The World Meteorological Organization repeats the same names every 6 years unless they're so deadly or so destructive that they are retired. Hurricane Matthew, of course, killed 585 people, the vast majority of them in Haiti. That after it barreled through the Caribbean. It caused widespread damage all across the southeast coast of the U.S. before it made landfall in South Carolina. In the U.S., the biggest effects were from that flooding. Remember that flooding across North Carolina, especially from all the rain.
Well, Hurricane Otto broke several records, making landfall on Thanksgiving Day in Costa Rica and Nicaragua. This is both the latest landfall in the Atlantic basin of the farthest south for any known hurricane in the northern hemisphere. Well, the 2016 list, it's used again in 2022, and so Matthew won't be there, Otto won't be there, replaced, by the way, with Martin and Owen. So 5 years from now, those are the names we'll be looking at.
Yeah, and you know, we are looking at our upcoming year of storm names, and some of these may look familiar because they were used during that very active 2005 season, then again in 2011, and now again we get them in 2017.
Hurricane season just about 2 months away. Still to come here on Weather Underground, severe thunderstorm watches in place across much of the south right now. We're tracking those storms for you on the radar. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy combines German-style Weiss beer with the taste of natural lemonade. It's as refreshing as refreshment gets. Leinenkugel's. Welcome to the Leinie side.
A heart attack doesn't care what you eat or how healthy you look. No matter who you are, a heart attack can happen without warning. A Bayer aspirin regimen can help prevent another heart attack. Be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen. Bayer aspirin.
I'm Chris, and I lost 120 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Listen up, guys. Want to shed a few pounds? Got a beer belly going on? Can't fit into your pants? Then you need Nutrisystem for men.
I'm Essex, and I lost 43 pounds on Nutrisystem.
I'm Trevor, and I lost 60 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Lose 15 pounds and 7 inches in your first month. Lose weight fast. Money back guarantee. Real guys, real results.
I'm Michael, and I lost 50 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Put down the pie, pick up the phone, and get with the program today. Get 1 week of all new Nutri-Crush bars free and 1 week of Turbo Shakes free.
The food was delicious.
If you're like me and you like to eat, this is what you get to do.
This is perfect for men, especially guys who don't want to cook.
So get off the couch, call or go online in the next 2 minutes, and we'll even throw in FedEx shipping free. Lose 15 pounds and 7 inches in your first month.
It's not that hard. You eat the food, you lose the weight.
Go online or call 888-608-DIET to get Nutrisystem for Men with bars and shakes free.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. Many people with Medicare may be able to get extra benefits and don't even know they're available. You may be able to get dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage included in your plan. The Medicare Coverage Helpline is accepting calls to see if you're eligible to enroll now. You may be able to get extra benefits including dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Buchwald. Making sure you go to the doctor and taking all your medications as prescribed can help protect your health. To make it easier, you may now be able to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan that includes coverage for dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Help protect your health by choosing the right plan for you and get all the benefits you deserve.
Call to see if you may be able to get extra benefits, including dental, vision, and prescription coverage. Don't delay. Call to see if you're eligible to enroll and may be able to get extra benefits now. Call 800-346-4800. That's 800-346-4800.
He's hiding a card. It's time for you and your boys to get out of town. Left foot, right foot, left foot, stop. Twitch your eyes so they think you're crazy.
If you walk the walk, you talk the talk. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico.
Hide the eyes.
It's what you do.
Show them real slow.
When you're close to the people you love, does psoriasis ever get in the way of a touching moment? If you have moderate to severe psoriasis, you can embrace the chance of completely clear skin with Taltz.
Taltz is proven to give you a chance at completely clear skin. With Taltz, up to 90% of patients had a significant improvement of their psoriasis plaques. In fact, 4 out of 10 even achieved completely clear skin. Do not use if you are allergic to Taltz. Before starting, you should be checked for tuberculosis. Taltz may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Tell your doctor if you are being treated for an infection or have symptoms, or if you have received a vaccine or plan to. Inflammatory bowel disease can happen with Taltz, including worsening of symptoms. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Now's your chance at completely clear skin. Just ask your doctor about Taltz.
It's amazing out there. It means that you could take what some might call a boring weather day, but find a lot of fascinating aspects. You can look up in the sky and there's something to learn about the clouds or about the precipitation that's falling every single day. There's a lot of amazing stuff happening out there.
Sirens are going off here. I guess we'll go inside and take shelter.
Smart move there. Wicked storms caused a lot of damage in North Texas last night. Hail the size of softballs pummeling roofs and cars in the town of McKinney and then the surrounding areas there. Oof, rough night. And it continues tonight. Welcome back, everyone, to Weather Underground. I'm Mike Bettis.
And I'm Alex Wilson. Tonight, we are watching another round of punishing storms take aim at some of the big cities in the south.
Yeah.
I want to get straight to storm specialist Carl Parker. He is upstairs in the lab tracking where the most severe and the strongest storms are right now.
Yeah, we're watching a little dynamo of a system coming across the Mississippi Valley right now. You can see it really well on the water vapor picture. Look at the spin in the atmosphere right in there. And on the east side of that, where that's interacting with warm and humid air, a whole big string of warnings from Kentucky down through Tennessee, Alabama, and right down through Mississippi as well. And then in western Tennessee, in particular, parts of Alabama and Mississippi, we're seeing low-level wind shear, where winds are coming out of different directions in the lowest levels of the atmosphere, and that creates a rolling motion that can be ingested by storms and allows them to rotate themselves. So there is now a tornado warning that is in effect. Actually, that has just been allowed to expire. Had been a tornado warning on this cell that's coming into Perry County right now. But the other thing that you get out of these rotating cells is a very large hail threat. We've gotten a lot of reports of golf ball size hail today, even some baseball size hail earlier today. Still seeing the rotation showing up right in there, but way up in the mid-levels of that storm. And so we'll continue to watch that for tornado possibilities. But then into Nashville, we had a big line of storms coming through earlier, and along with that, some serious tree damage on the west side of town in particular, and now new storms on the way well out to the west, but perhaps coming into Nashville again. Dixon, Hickman, Humphreys County is under warning until 5:45, and seeing some pretty strong wind along with that storm there. Then off to the south of that, we've got another strong storm that is south of Coleman. Reports of golf ball size hail along with that. That hail core is now coming right into Garden City, so get ready for some large hail in that area. Then down into Mississippi, some more strong storms along 59 and just west of 59. Look at the big hail core right in there, Jasper and Newton counties. That's going to move eastward and get over towards Quitman eventually. Watching out for the possibility of some half-dollar size hail with that storm. North Side School, Rose Hill, and into Orange as well. So we'll see more of this kind of thing over the next few hours, but eventually these more individual cells are going to develop into clusters of storms, complexes of storms. We may see a big one of those into eastern Tennessee and northern Alabama later tonight. And as we lose the instability, as we lose the heating of the day, all of these storms are going to begin to settle down by very late tonight. Mike, back to you.
Oh man, it's coming down. It's beating us to death out here, I think. It's a little bit hard to hear. It's pretty loud in the car when it goes.
Yeah, you're listening to Storm Tracker Kelly Williamson getting pounded by hail during the severe storms last night. This one in southern Oklahoma, and as you can imagine, hail did a lot of damage to cars, roofs, and windows across parts of Oklahoma and also into Texas.
All right, so he was out there chasing storms and had a heck of an evening, that's for sure. That was just one area that he saw some hail, but he saw a lot of other things as well, including a funnel cloud, and I thought this one was pretty impressive as well. You can see this one is very distinct here, a little different color, had a little bit of rotation to it. This one just didn't end up becoming a tornado and coming down to reach the ground. A lot of these storms that he had in southern Oklahoma were really spectacular, even though they may not have truly produce tornadoes.
He had been watching this one. This one, I believe, was the one to the east of Ada, Oklahoma. And he said at times it would drop down and then it would quickly go back up. And he was able to catch it for us as this funnel. But pretty, and the nice thing is where he was tracking this was a pretty rural area that had already moved through the town of Ada. We've also, of course, got the video of that heavy hail pounding Kelly's car and the road. This is McAllister, Oklahoma. So this was a little later in the evening as he made his way. And, you know, this hail, you don't want to be driving through this, but small in comparison to some of the other hail reports coming in across the region. And then Kelly caught a large rain shaft in Elmore, Oklahoma. Take a look at that right down the middle. Almost looks like a mushroom cloud or a spaceship landing, or, you know, sending beams down. This is the heavy rain and hail from the storms. I want to talk about a new tornado warning that we've got in effect across parts of Tennessee. You're looking at areas west and southwest of Nashville. This is Decatur County, and Decaturville is the city included within this. There's that rotation. So you look at the greens and the reds near each other. That would show us some rotation within that storm. Likely also seeing some hail out of this one with that magenta, that hot pink color showing up. That would be indicative of some large hail. This is going to be working towards Pope around 542, Perry County 554, and then Linden at 558. Pleasantville beyond that point around 615. So this storm moving to the east. And if you are in any of those areas that I just mentioned, you want to get to your safe spot now. If you know somebody who may be heading out on the roadways there too, tell them to hold off on their travels until this one passes. Now, tomorrow, we're going to go back to some of the same areas that saw the storms yesterday. So Oklahoma City to Dallas, areas west Amarillo, Abilene, and San Angelo, all in that threat zone. There's the new storm system that will be developing. Dry line surging to the east, increasing low-level moisture off of the Gulf of Mexico. We've got strong low-level jet stream winds that will be setting up across the area. And then the mid and upper-level jet streams punching to the northeast. They're going to be coming more out of the southwest, and that upper level jet stream also help to enhance lift. So we've got that instability, or that source of lift. We'll have the instability thanks to the warmth and the moisture, and then of course the shear comes into play with the turning of winds with direction and height. Future radar across the region showing the storms around 5 o'clock tomorrow into parts of north central Texas and western Oklahoma. They'll slide eastward as we go through the evening and overnight. Even early on Wednesday, Dallas could get on some storms, and then, Mike, perhaps another round into the mid-morning.
All right, we'll talk more about that and the places that could be impacted, including Houston and Jackson, Mississippi, Birmingham, Alabama. These videos coming to us from our Earth Cam, but be on the lookout here. Can you see the temperatures here? Upper 70s, low 80s. Humidity is increasing too, so it's full-fledged spring mode now, folks, and storms will be coming for us rapid fire through the week. So let's run you through your tornado risk tomorrow for Midland, Amarillo, and Wichita Falls. 3 to 4 on your Torcon, so a 30 to 40% chance that we could have tornadoes tomorrow. Then we take a look at Wichita Falls in particular. Even in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, we could have thunderstorms that last through the evening, becoming most intense with the heating of the day late afternoon. And so be on the lookout for the possibility of tornadoes here with some rotating supercell thunderstorms. For a location like Dallas, may actually happen for us through the overnight hours. So as we advance the map here, one thing you'll notice is storms get approaching now toward the Wichita Falls area, coming right into Fort Worth around, say, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, coming through Dallas. It happens through the overnight, so it's keeping you awake, but have a way to be alerted at night if severe weather were to come for your county. So your weather radio would go off, your app would go off on your phone. Dallas, even in the morning, we're going to have a wet commute for us here. Now we go into Wednesday, Oklahoma City, Dallas, and Shreveport. 3s on your Torcon, or a 30% chance that we could see some tornadoes here. And take a look at the forecast for Oklahoma City. Tuesday night, returning on Wednesday morning, and then Wednesday night. And again, it's an atmosphere that's really, really ripe for severe weather. It's that time of year, unfortunately. And that's not the end of it, though. After we get through midweek, after we get past, say, Wednesday and Thursday, now we look to the weekend that could provide, yet again, more severe weather. Right, another system. When we look towards Thursday, there's that system bringing the storminess to the plains. The other one holding right off on deck, basically, into the Pacific Northwest. That one drops down into the central U.S. for the upcoming weekend and early part of next week. Not an April Fool's joke. It really is happening. It seems like it's every single day. There'll be very few breaks in between. So for Birmingham, check this out. Tuesday morning, we've got some showers. Then Thursday, Friday, that second round comes in. Then Monday, Next chance for at least rain at this point, but it's not going to be a fun time for us in Birmingham. It's almost every other day we see showers.
Right, so you really have to be weather aware across this part of the country as we go through an extended period. And when we come back, we're going to talk to a meteorologist at the Storm Prediction Center, pick his brain about this multi-day storm threat that is affecting millions of Americans.
Want to take all your favorite shows to all your favorite places? Do you ever watch shows on the go?
Yes. With Xfinity X1, you can download your favorites from anywhere. On demand, your DVR.
Oh, that's wonderful.
You can even stream top networks and live sports on the go.
I'm sold. I like this.
This is awesome.
So how do you feel about DirecTV?
Now I feel like I'm left out now.
Well, come, be included. I'm definitely going to switch.
85% of people prefer Xfinity X1 to their current TV experience. Get a great offer on an X1 triple play from Comcast. Click, call, or visit an Xfinity store today.
Well, I love it. This piece is so you. I know, right? I saw it and I was just like, oh, I have to have it. Is it suede? Suede. Love suede.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Well, I love it. This piece is so you.
I know, right? I saw it and I was like, have to have it.
Is it suede?
It's suede.
I love suede.
That's why we're there with renter's insurance when things go wrong, but also here with a rewards credit card to help life go right. State Farm.
Fun and art class. Come close, come close. I like that.
When your pain reliever stops working, your whole day stops.
Try this.
For minor arthritis pain, only Aleve is FDA approved to work for up to 12 straight hours with just one pill.
Thank you.
Aleve, live whole, not part.
Once a year, my mom makes my favorite, homemade lasagna.
From scratch.
She says her famous recipe comes with famous messes. But I never see them. I love all that melty cheese and spicy sauce. She's a superhero, but instead of a cape, her secret weapon comes in a spray bottle.
It's the grease cutting miracle. Cut the crud with Crud Cutter. For a store near you, visit findcrudcutter.com.
Termites.
We're on the move.
Hey, Rick, all good?
Oh, yeah, we're good.
We're good.
Terminix, defenders of home.
Everybody has a best. At Massage Envy, we're here to help you find yours. See how we can help you at massageenvy.com. Massage Envy, making the best of everybody.
And the wolf huffed and puffed.
Like you do symptoms, Grandpa?
Well, when you have COPD, it can be hard to breathe. It can be hard to get air out, which can make it hard to get air in. So I talked to my doctor, and she said,
Symbicort could help you breathe better, starting within 5 minutes. Symbicort doesn't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms. Symbicort helps provide significant improvement of your lung function. Symbicort is for COPD, including chronic bronchitis and emphysema. It should not be taken more than twice a day. Symbicort contains formoterol. Medicines like formoterol increase the risk of death from asthma problems. Symbicort may increase your risk of lung infections, osteoporosis, and some eye problems. You should tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it.
Symbicort could mean a day with better breathing. Watch out, piggies.
Symbicort. Breathe better, starting within 5 minutes.
Get Symbicort free for up to 1 year. Visit saveonsymbicort.com today to learn more.
Hey, searching for a great used car?
Yeah.
You got it. Just say, show me millions of used cars for sale at the all-new Carfax.com.
I don't want one that's had a big wreck.
Just say, show me cars with no accidents reported. Pretty cool.
I like it.
That's the power of Carfax. Find the cars you want, avoid the ones you don't. Plus, you get a free Carfax report with every listing. Start your used car search at Carfax.com.
Beyond is a natural pet food that goes beyond assuming ingredients are safe to knowing they are. Going beyond expectations because our pets deserve it. Beyond, natural pet food.
Welcome back to our coverage of severe weather. I'm Storm Specialist Carl Parker. We've got a brand new tornado warning to tell you about now in Perry and Wayne counties in western Tennessee. This is pretty far to the south of Interstate 40, well southwest of Nashville. There's a look at where that cell is near Linden right now. We'll zoom down and take a look at that circulation. And the strongest circulation is actually really difficult to see because we're at the limit of the radar range there. That's called range folding, but we can see that there is an area of blue where there's wind coming toward the radar and a darker area where it's going away from the radar. So there is most definitely a circulation sitting right along 412 there, and now perhaps moving a little to the south of east. So let's time that out and see where that's going to be headed in the next few minutes. It's going to come into Linden most likely, or areas just south of Linden. Horner coming up here in just the next couple of minutes. Perry County 545, Linden at 549, and 550 getting into Sugar Hill. So please get to your safe place immediately in those areas. Now, another thing we can do is look for the presence of debris. It's a very noisy signature, but it does look like there might be some debris that's being lofted into the air along with this storm. So a very dangerous storm here coming into Linden. Please do take cover immediately. Also want to show you that there are some warnings up into parts of Kentucky, and one of those now east of 65, a warning here for Anderson, Nelson, and Washington counties. Looking at some very strong wind here. This is straight line wind, and that's coming into Willisburg. So right in there, going to be moving off to the northeast, moving into Willisburg 652, Sharpsville 659, and Sinai coming up at 705, 60+ mile-per-hour wind. Mike, Alex, back to you.
Yeah, listen to that wind, huh? This is last night in Louisville, Texas. Just a ton of wind, and we had some hail. Look at the hailstones outside. Yeah. See that? Big hailstones here, softball-sized hail, breaking windshields in Argyle, Texas.
Yeah, some of the areas north of Dallas, scenes like this are what you woke up to. We even saw one car that had the driver's side window, the top smashed. Ooh. It even messed up the metal. The metal was dented. Man. That's going to be a big fix.
Look at the spidered windshield here. Ooh. Rough, rough, rough. All right, for more on this dangerous multi-day severe weather threat that is developing, let's bring in now Bill Bunting, the operations branch chief at NOAA Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma. Bill, always good to talk to you. It played out last night. Looks like it's playing out again this evening. When we talk about this week to come, what's most concerning for you folks there at the SPC?
Well, I think we have a couple of concerns. First of all, great to be with you this evening. One concern is that we're going to have storm system after storm system. So these will be multi-day events, and they will move fairly quickly from west to east across the country. So when all is said and done, by this weekend, perhaps early part of next week, many parts of the central and eastern U.S. will face some risk of severe weather. And in some cases, it's going to be multiple rounds. So folks really need to pay attention, not just today with the ongoing storms, but throughout the remainder of the week.
Does the fact that it is multiple rounds make it tougher for you, do you think, in your messaging? I know sometimes people think, oh, we're expecting storms. Okay, I saw the storms roll through and that's it, right?
Absolutely. I mean, that's a big part of the challenge is the messaging, but also meteorologically, as you know, prior storms can certainly change the nature of the atmosphere. In some cases, previous thunderstorms can actually enhance the severe weather risk, but in other cases, cooler air, stable conditions, residual cloud cover makes it more challenging. So these are the days where really the skill and the expertise that we have here comes to play, and it will certainly be important as we make these forecasts over the next few days.
Bill, we're always monitoring how unstable the atmosphere is, and hoping tonight you can answer one of our viewer questions this evening. Lee sent us a tweet, and Lee is asking, how do you measure instability?
Well, we actually have different measures here at the Storm Prediction Center. We look at surface-based instability. That is, if you lift a parcel at the ground, what's the degree of instability? And what we do is we measure the difference in temperature as that parcel rises relative to the ambient environment. But we also look at elevated instability because there are days where the air near the ground is stable, but the air just a few hundred or thousand feet above the ground is unstable. And it's really important to assess the vertical changes in instability to really forecast severe storms accurately.
Great answer. Thanks for helping out with that. In the short term, what are the areas you're most concerned about over the next few hours?
I think certainly as we look into the Ohio and Tennessee Valley region, parts of the Central Gulf states, southeastern U.S., then again tomorrow our focus really is on several areas, but shifting back into the plains. And then this weather system on Tuesday will move east through the remainder of the week in time for yet another storm system to become reestablished over the plains. So many areas of the country under threat. Here at the SPC, we're going to make sure we're on top of things. Folks really need to be sure to monitor the forecast, be ready to take action when the storms threaten their location.
That is right from the horse's mouth. Bill Bunting joining us from NOAA Storm Prediction Center. Always good to have the insight from those that are actually doing it, right?
Absolutely. They know the nitty-gritty. Hey, we are not done. When we come back, winter is not over in New England.
Liberty Mutual stood with us when a fire destroyed everything in our living room. We replaced it all without touching our savings.
Yeah, our insurance won't do that.
No.
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Come on. Can you believe this, cable guy? I took the day off for this. That's it. I give up. I'm taking a shower. Don't go! Oh my goodness, I'm here! Seriously? An entire day wasted for this.
I hear you. Now let's change that.
Yes.
Stop waiting for the cable guy. Switch to Dish and get reliable 75-minute arrival windows. Dish, tuned into you.
There's an opportunity in every window. A view connecting in here to an entire world of out there. So start your day opening the window to your weather with AMHQ. Watch Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno looking out at the stories and the science behind your forecast. Open up your mornings with AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
Constipated? Trust #1 doctor recommended Dulcolax. Use Dulcolax tablets for gentle, dependable relief, suppositories for relief in minutes, and Dulcoes for comfortable relief of hard stools. Dulcolax, designed for dependable relief.
It's time for buy one, take one, starting at $12.99 at Olive Garden. Come for an irresistible meal here and leave with a great meal too, so you can enjoy family time one more time. Buy one, take one, only for a limited time at Olive Garden.
Anything meant to stand needs a stable foundation. A body without proper foot support can mean pain. The Dr. Scholl's kiosk maps your feet and recommends our custom-fit orthotic to stabilize your foundation and relieve foot, knee, or lower back pain from being on your feet. Dr. Scholl's.
Hello, I'm an Idaho potato farmer, and I finally found our big Idaho potato truck. It's been touring the country telling folks about our heart-healthy Idaho potatoes, America's favorite potatoes, and donating to local charities along the way. But now, it's finally back home where it belongs. Aw, man. Hey! Wait up! Where you going? Here we go again.
This loop's too tight. This loop's too loose. This belt fits just right. Introducing the Comfort Click Belt, the belt that fits every time, all the time. Traditional belts have a hole every inch, which make it hard to fit. Comfort Click Belt doesn't use holes. It uses a micro precision track system. It clicks and locks into place for a secure, comfortable fit. Comfort Click is constructed with genuine leather and clean, durable stitching, complete with a strong, brushed gunmetal finish. Just click for the most comfortable fit. The clever, quick-release lever lets the belt slide on, slide off, or adjust with ease. It fits sizes up to 48 inches, so there's a perfect fit for you. Get the Comfort Click belt in black or brown for just $19.99 with a money-back, perfect fit guarantee. So get the perfect fit with Comfort Click.
Call 1-800-873-3971, or you can visit us online at comfortclickbelt.com. Don't delay. Call or click today.
Start your day with Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno, opening the window to your weather on AMHQ. Mornings on the Weather Channel.
Well, plenty of springtime severe weather to talk about, but there's still some winter weather out there, believe it or not. Our winter weather expert Tom Nizzle joining us now to pick out those few unlucky ones that have yet to hit spring.
Yeah, and you got to go far north for this, right? So we're going to go into northern New England. Now, there's going to be moisture pulled north into places like New York City, Boston in the form of rain. But that cold air is just hanging on in northern New England here, across Maine in particular. I'm amazed to see it even this late in the year. And if we go through the rest of the night here, in a place like Caribou, the snow is going to continue for a few hours yet. It's not going to be until about, the midnight hour going into 1, 2 in the morning that snow is eventually going to let up. You take a look at the total snowfall here. Again, the far tip of Maine and a place like Caribou, they could see another 5 to 6 inches of snow. So I got to ask you the question, how much snow do you think they have on the ground right now? Oh, it's the end of March, right? Place like Caribou?
20 to 30 inches.
I was going to say less. I was going to say like a foot.
Okay, so let's take a look here. Right now, they've got a whopping 23 inches of snow on the ground. Compared to last year, they only had 11.
My goodness.
I had to go in and do a little bit of stats here, okay? So the next question, how many days in a row do you think they've had greater than 20 inches or more snow on the ground? How many days in a row?
35.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I'll go big this time. 60.
All right, let's take a look here and see. Right now, if we total this up, they've had 87 days. Think about this, since December 30th. And with that 23 inches of snow on the ground, if it stays cold, they could actually go up toward the record here, 100 days back in 1955. So now the one to blow you away. How many days do you think they've had at least a foot of snow depth on the ground in Caribou, Maine this winter?
Now I got to go.
So we're at 87.
115.
Okay.
I'm gonna do like the prices right here.
Okay.
116.
I can't believe this. Let's just take a quick look here because they've actually had 116 days. He gets it. That is it. Way to go. Prices right ahead. No prizes to offer. But the takeaway is since November 30th, they've had a foot or more snow on the ground. It's been an amazing winter up there. That's the icebox for the Northeast as far as I'm concerned. And this year, they are just gobbed in snow. Over 100 days of snow, greater than a foot of snow on the ground. It's amazing.
You stink, but good job.
Great job, though. I was ready to give you the prize.
I was really close, but Price is Right style, he beat me.
It warms up, by the way, though, tomorrow. And for a lot of you in the Northeast, like a place like New York, you're going to get rainier conditions that come your way. And eventually in Maine, the rain overtakes the snow, too.
Right. And in New York or wherever you are, you can take the Weather Channel with you. You're looking at Local Now. Get instant access to local news, traffic, and sports, plus weather alerts and live severe coverage anytime, anywhere, localized and customized just for you. Stream on.
Of course, we are still following severe weather for you this evening. Many of you have questions about it tonight. Brandon Wright is here to take some of your questions on Twitter.
Yeah, we've had a few already. Remember, hit us up, hashtag WUTV on Twitter. All right, first up, this one's from Bray. Bray's asking, what is wind shear and how important is it for rotating supercells?
It's very important. So wind shear is basically, it's two things. It's how much does the wind speed change with height? How much does it increase as you go up? That's called speed shear. And then there's something known as directional shear. How much does the wind change direction as you go up in height? And that one is really the key. Directional shear is key to maintaining rotating supercell thunderstorms.
Right, but you did point out earlier, you want that speed shear because that allows for a tilted updraft, and then you get these supercells that are really able to survive for a long period of time. That's what makes them different than those summertime thunderstorms that, you see them build up, you see them pour down, and then they kind of collapse.
Yeah, because the downdrafts and the updrafts right next to each other or on top of each other makes the storm die out. Good question.
Yep. All right, let's see. Next up from Travis. Does this spring look to bring the potential for flooding rain in southeast Texas as it did last year? We all know southeast Texas and Houston specifically always susceptible to heavy rain events.
Well, I think it's hard to say with any certainty. how, because flooding can be such a localized event, but knowing that springtime storms are in the forecast at least this week.
Yeah.
There's any one event could produce flooding in Houston.
Right, and this pattern of the storms after storms, as you mentioned, you get a few training thunderstorms in one area like Houston, and that spells big problems. And a lot of these cases we've seen across Texas, it only takes a couple hours of heavy rainfall to lead to a really big issue.
It seems like we have a big flooding event in Texas at least once a year.
Yeah, they always seem to be more in May. Not that that matters necessarily, but that's something to keep in mind.
Memorial Day, it seems like May we get some big heavy downpours. All right, thank you everyone for your questions. We'll do it again next hour. Use the hashtag WUTV if you are on Twitter, and we'll make sure to get your questions answered.
Yeah, we're just getting started on Weather Underground tonight. Coming up, we've got more on our top story, a multi-day severe threat that includes big hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. We got the latest timing and who's at risk right now.
All right, we're going to check in with Carl Parker, our storm specialist. He's on the radar this evening. And we're going to also talk about the tropics tonight and what's going on in the land down under. We hope that you can stick around. A special edition tonight. We go until 9 o'clock. Here's a live look at Nashville. Another round still to come in tonight. We're back in just 60 seconds. Coming up tonight on Weather Underground, a very active weekend of severe weather, and it continues tonight.
Now, halfway to the ground. This thing is growing. It's getting further to the ground. And David, we are on
the south at risk right now for strong storms, damaging winds, tornadoes, and
yep, listen to that. Hail and big hail, adding to what's already a record pace for hail reports this year.
And the dangerous pattern continues all week. We'll break down the latest timing and where the tornado threat increases tomorrow.
Plus the tropics and where this intensifying cyclone is making landfall this evening. We're going to take you there live. Weather Underground starts right now. And thanks for staying with us for the special edition of Weather Underground. Round after round of storms in the southern half of the country at risk. I'm Mike Bettis.
And I'm Alex Wilson. This parade of storms kicked off early last week, and it's not going to let up anytime soon. We're here with you for 3 hours tonight, so until 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Central, to keep you ahead of the varying threats from those storms.
All right, let's take you up to the Ohio Valley and say hello to Cincinnati. You'll be on the northern side of all these storms. We could see some pretty good winds come north across the Ohio River. So be prepared for storms that come in from a different direction for you tonight. May go all the way up to, say, Columbus tonight as well.
Yeah, I got to get ready for that. So we want to get you the very latest on what's happening right now on the radar. Who needs to be on alert right now? Carl Parker joins us from up in the lab.
Yeah, large area being implicated with this potential severe weather, and that's anywhere from Kentucky, the Ohio River Valley, right down into Mississippi. I want to take you into Kentucky right now, show you a brand new area of warnings. Severe thunderstorm warnings here in many areas, including near Campbellsville, but then to the north of that, we've got a new tornado warning to tell you about. Mercer and Washington counties under tornado warning right now. That's going until 7:15. Look at the velocity data here. This is an interesting case. This is where wind is all surging forward right in there. But right through here, you've got wind surging forward and then inflow as well. And right along that interface is where we've got a little bit of rotation, and that could be enough to bring us a tornado. So that is going to be coming towards Route 127 there. Let's go ahead and time this out. And that's going to make its way across 1160 as well. Sorry about that, having a little bit of difficulty with my machine right now, but should be getting towards Route 127 in pretty short order. The movement here is northeast at about 40 miles per hour. Okay, now it's cooperating for me, and that'll be coming into Dugansville in the next couple of minutes. Terrapin 708, Salvisa at 718, and Oregon at 721. Possible tornado and certainly damaging wind coming your way. Now, I want to take you into some other areas as well. I've got a tornado warning now in central parts of Tennessee, and we've had a very active time here. That's a tornado warning for Perry and Wayne counties. We had a tornado reported with this storm, and right in here, we're getting a pretty good look at a very strong rotation. It's a good long ways from the Nashville radar, but that's a strong rotation right there that is near Linden right now. So I would imagine we're going to see another tornado warning out of this cell, and it looks like it's moving almost due east right now. So that would take it into Hohenwald at 622 and Blondie at 625. We can look and see if there's any evidence of debris at this time. I'm not seeing anything that is proof positive of that, but certainly there is a very strong circulation showing up with that storm. So please do take cover in those areas. And also want to quickly show you we've got some severe storms heading towards Nashville after we already had a big round of severe storms, and now a bunch of supercell storms in northeastern Alabama, right here southwest of Gadsden, Anniston. And these storms all showing a rotation and showing a lot of potential for very large hail. I think that's going to be one of the big threats with these storms, in addition to damaging wind. No tornado warnings at this time. Alex, over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Carl. I want to talk more about the midweek severe weather threat. Once we get through today, some of these same areas will be watching for storms again Wednesday into Thursday. But let's time things out for you. Future radar showing those storms working through Tennessee and Kentucky, as well as Alabama, even Georgia as we go through the evening. Parts of northwest Georgia added to a severe thunderstorm watch. So places like Rome have to be on a lookout for severe weather into this evening. During the overnight, a lot of the storm activity begins to fizzle out. We'll still see some showers as you wake up tomorrow in some of those East Coast locations. Then we get into our day on Tuesday, and we go back to the southern plains. The threat again for places like Oklahoma City and Dallas, Abilene, San Angelo, and Amarillo. The hail, damaging winds, and not out of the question to see tornadoes as well. Here's the future radar. It's tomorrow afternoon and evening where we'll watch those thunderstorms begin to fire across the plains. They'll move eastward through the evening. Oklahoma City around 7 o'clock local time. So probably getting home okay. It's that dinner time hour, early evening, where you've got the best chance of storms into the early morning hours. Dallas, you'll see another one round of storms, then perhaps some lingering storms even through your morning commute on Wednesday. Wednesday, severe risk from Oklahoma City to Memphis down towards the Gulf Coast. This will include a place like Houston, as well as Corpus Christi. Spotty hail, damaging winds, and again the threat of tornadoes. And now on Thursday, we come back to the same places that we're really watching today: St. Louis, Nashville, Memphis, Birmingham, Jackson, Mobile, and New Orleans, all areas in that threat zone for the severe weather, the damaging winds, the hail, and the gusty winds. So repeat round after round, Mike, and that's why we've been telling people, you know, don't think it's done today. No. There's more coming.
So you may get, you know, you'll get some storms and you get a break, and then they come back again. So multiple days you need to be aware. You need to be aware of what your tornado risk is and what time of day some of these storms will be coming in. So let's focus on Midland, Amarillo, and Wichita Falls here in Texas. 3s or 4s, your Torcons are a 30 to 40% chance that you could see a tornado. So let's time it out for you in Wichita Falls, because I think your forecast is interesting. Notice what time this is. 10 o'clock is when this forecast begins. You've got thunderstorms there already. They last through lunchtime and beyond. Then the key heating hours of the day, we've got more storms that come in, actually more vigorous storms that come in. Those could be the ones that actually do produce tornadoes. All right, so forecasting for you in Dallas here. Now, we're pretty good. This is tomorrow, 6 o'clock in the evening. Storms aren't there yet, but notice as they roll in from the west, storms hit us about 2 o'clock in the morning. Could be some real rumblers here, and then we'll be left over with showers even at 7 o'clock in the morning as you head out for your morning drive. You're putting the kids on the bus. You've got to have full rain gear, and be aware if there's any isolated flooding. That could pose an issue as well. 3s are Torcon on Wednesday, Oklahoma City, Dallas, and Shreveport for Oklahoma City. Tuesday evening, Tuesday overnight, Wednesday morning, and then Wednesday night. All chances that we could see some thunderstorms come our way. And in Houston, Wednesday night, and then Thursday, finally we get to dry out a little bit, but we could be watching for some more storms to come our way for the next round that rolls in, and that could come closer to the weekend.
Right.
So here we go again.
And this is why, you know, Bill Bunting, we just talked to him at the Storm Prediction Center, and he said it makes it hard for the messaging when there's round after round, because a lot of times people hear storms, they see the storms, and they go, okay, now we're done. We can let our guard down. But that's not the case with these. There's our midweek system. So offering up the storms again Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The next one on deck as we get into the weekend. This is going to drop into the southern plains. So again, some of the same areas dealing with storms as we go through Saturday, Sunday, into Monday.
And then once you get these bits of energy, these lows to form in the southern plains. They're in a perfect setup where they're drawing in moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. If they can do that, that's fuel for the storms, and we're off to the races.
We are, and here's the forecast for a place like Wichita. Thunderstorms on Wednesday. Then again into the weekend, we've got to watch for the storms.
It's an unfortunate forecast for a lot of us, but if you think about the timing here, we're going March into April for a lot of us. This is when our severe season really starts to get going. For Dallas, Tuesday and Wednesday, we get storms. Get a break for you here on Thursday and Friday. Then bad timing for the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. More storms come back in, tapering to showers by Monday. So just be weather savvy. Have some way to be alerted to the weather, be watching the weather, television, listening to it on the radio, apps, whatever it may be, because it's going to be a dangerous week.
Yeah, all for disconnecting. This is not the week to do it. Make sure you know if you're traveling around the area, too. I know a lot of business travelers go place to place. Make sure you know your county you're in.
Yeah.
So if warnings are issued, you know where you are.
Makes a big difference. We have new tornado warnings for you this evening. We're going to run through those. Hickman, Lewis, and Perry counties right now. This is in Tennessee. This is just outside of Nashville. Tornado warning for you until 6:30 this evening. A place like Hohenwald and Linden heads up for you. Decatur, Hardin, Henderson County tornado warning for you until 7 o'clock this evening. So in Morris Chapel or Toledo, please take shelter immediately.
Then we've got another tornado warned storm here to the south and west of Lexington, Mercer, and Washington County until 7:15. You also want to seek shelter. This storm moving to the east-northeast. We've got much more coming up.
Let me talk to you about retirement. 401k is the most sound way to go. Let's talk asset allocation. Sure.
You seem knowledgeable, professional.
I'm actually a DJ.
No way.
That really is you. If they're not a CFP pro, you just don't know. CFP, work with the highest standard.
Anything meant to stand needs a stable foundation. A body without proper foot support can mean pain. The Dr. Scholl's kiosk maps your feet and recommends our custom-fit orthotic to stabilize your foundation and relieve foot, knee, or lower back pain from being on your feet. Dr. Scholl's.
With the Travelocity Customer First Guarantee, your only worry will be that one rogue cloud.
Get help with hotels, free 24-hour flight changes, and our price match guarantee.
Travelocity. Wander wisely.
Every yank of your tank is a tug of war. It's about time someone declared war on the tug. The Duluth Trading No Yank Tank. Stop yanking and get cranking. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds change and shift. May your heart always
Long live, brother. And long live the truck that holds it together. Ram, America's longest-lasting pickups.
Now get 0% financing, or an average $11,506 in total values on the 2017 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab.
I have asthma, one of many pieces in my life. So when my asthma symptoms kept coming back on my long-term control medicine, I talked to my doctor and found a missing piece in my asthma treatment with Brio.
Once daily Brio prevents asthma symptoms. Brio's for adults with asthma not well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Brio won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Brio is specifically designed to open up airways to improve breathing for a full 24 hours. Brio contains a type of medicine that increases the risk of death from asthma problems and may increase the risk of hospitalization in children and adolescents. Brio is not for people whose asthma is well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Once your asthma is well controlled, your doctor will decide if you can stop Brio and prescribe a different asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Do not take Brio more than prescribed. See your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse.
Ask your doctor if 24-hour Brio could be a missing piece for you.
Learn more about better breathing at mybrio.com.
I think what's most exciting about the future of meteorology and the Weather Channel is that we're always going to give that little extra nugget about the science behind it that you can't get with a scroll of your finger, that little interesting tidbit to kind of spark an interest in somebody watching. Want even more from the Weather Channel? Join us at weloveweather.tv.
If you love the window seat, start your day opening the window to your weather with AMHQ. Mornings on the Weather Channel.
Obviously, very active weather for us tonight here. We're covering it for you up in the lab. Our storm specialist Carl Parker is watching the radar. It has been an incredibly tough evening and still ongoing tornado warnings.
A lot of rotating storms tonight, and with those rotating storms, you've certainly got a tornado threat in some cases, but also a very large hail threat, a bunch of cells with a large hail threat right now in Alabama. First of all, the tornado warnings, Hickman, Lewis, Perry counties. Now, this is southwest of Nashville and also south of Interstate 40. This cell has been rotating for a very long time. Unfortunately, we're not getting a really good look at it. Circulation sitting right about in there, and that's going to be coming towards Hohenwald here. So you want to get to your safe place in those areas immediately. Looks like it's moving just about due east, and we'll get into Hohenwald at 6:25, Blondie 6:27, and Gordonsburg at 6:39. Then to the southwest of that, another tornado warning. This is Decatur, Hardin, Henderson counties in southern parts of Tennessee. And again here, you've got a circulation that's showing up right there around Morris Chapel. That may be moving just a little to the south of east, and that's going to come across Route 129 as it moves in that direction, getting into Saltillo at 6:19, Centerview 6:25, and Olive Hill at 6:40. Then to the south of that, a bunch of rotating cells here that are not producing tornadoes, but a very large hail threat. Marion, Winston County. Look at the appendage on the southwest side of that. We're going to need to watch that. That is definitely a rotating storm right there. Then you've got another warning here for St. Clair County in eastern Alabama. Another big cell, and that is into Blount County in Alabama. Look at the hail core on this thing. Tremendous hail core. I'm going to outline this, and you know, there are some cases where you can get very heavy rain, and you can see that very high return like that. But in this case, what we can do, we can look at differential reflectivity, and where we see the red, we know that that's rain. Where we see the gray, we know that that is hail. So that is a beast of a hailstorm right now, and that is moving towards the northeast, coming right down Route 75. Would not be at all surprised if we saw some golf ball or even larger hail, and that's going to be moving into Armstead at 6:15, Allgood 6:19, Champion 6:26, and Tate's Gap coming up at 6:32. Mike, Alex, over to you.
All right, Carl, thank you very much. So let's go through the rest of the evening and show you where your threat extends to, because it's from the Ohio Valley all the way down to, say, Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Right, damaging winds, hail, and tornadoes all a threat today, and we've seen a lot of these translate. We've seen the active tornado warnings, we've seen the wind damage reports, and we've seen some hail out of the storms today.
It's very similar to what we had yesterday. It's going to happen tonight. It's probably going to happen tomorrow and just about every single day this week. The areas highlighted for greatest hail risk are right here through Tennessee, through portions of Mississippi and Alabama. We've seen some pretty decent hail reports already today, so be ready for that. Hail can do a lot of damage.
Right, and wind, we've seen the wind damage around the Nashville area. There's the region that we've got to watch for the best chance of damaging winds, but that medium threat for wind extending all the way well into Mississippi and Alabama.
And once you get some of these storms that want to bow out, or they form this basically backwards shaped C on the radar, that means a lot of wind is going to be forced out of them. So two lines here coming through, especially Tennessee, and we're going to get nailed here in Nashville once again. But Birmingham, we get hit this evening, and then storms extending all the way back into, say, Mississippi, and even back into Louisiana.
Right, we get into the early morning hours, and a lot of the storms lose a bit of their punch. Still can see plenty of action into northern Alabama during the early morning hours, say around 2, 3 o'clock. But 7 o'clock looking better.
It could be a little wet for you in the morning in places like Atlanta, the upstate of South Carolina, even around Charlotte. You could have maybe a little bit of wet drive as you head in tomorrow morning, which always makes it slower. So be aware that's coming your way.
All right, well, we've got much more still ahead on Weather Underground. We're going to take you to the other side of the world where we talk about tropical weather. Yeah, Atlantic hurricane season not happening yet, but we do have a very powerful storm headed towards Australia.
That's right. We've got Debbie out there. We're going to talk with a storm tracker who's right at the heart of it. That's coming up. And later, our Mike Seidel celebrates 25 years at the Weather Channel. He's actually going to join us live in the Weather Cave to look back on his most memorable moments. You do not want to miss this.
Is this my car? State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Is this my car?
This is ridiculous!
This is ridiculous. Ah!
From car insurance to car loans, State Farm is here to help life go right.
A heart attack doesn't care what you eat or how healthy you look. No matter who you are, a heart attack can happen without warning. A Bayer aspirin regimen can help prevent another heart attack. Be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen. Bayer aspirin.
What if this didn't have to happen? I didn't see it. What if we could go back? What if our car could stop itself?
In IIHS front-end crash prevention testing, nobody beats the Subaru Impreza. Not Toyota, not Honda, not Ford. The all-new Subaru Impreza. More than a car, it's a Subaru.
Sometimes, the only difference between a moment that fades from memory and a moment that stays with you forever is where it happens. That's why we're proud to help families like yours live a lifetime of memories on beautiful, healthy lawns. Live like it's spring. Make life better with a beautiful, healthy, True Green lawn.
I'm proud of what the Weather Channel is. It's a place you can turn to and trust.
Our team's taking you into the storm with live reports and expertise you won't get anywhere else.
We are meteorologists, and that makes a tremendous difference.
When it comes to a weather situation that warrants attention, we're the place to go. It's that simple.
This loop's too tight. This loop's too loose. This belt fits just right. Introducing the Comfort Click Belt, the belt that fits every time, all the time. Traditional belts have a hole every inch, which make it hard to fit. Comfort Click Belt doesn't use holes. It uses a micro precision track system. It clicks and locks into place for a secure, comfortable fit. Comfort Click is constructed with genuine leather and clean, durable stitching, complete with a strong, brushed gunmetal finish. Just click for the most comfortable fit. The clever, quick-release lever lets the belt slide on, slide off, or adjust with ease. It fits sizes up to 48 inches, so there's a perfect fit for you. Get the Comfort Click belt in black or brown for just $19.99 with a money-back, perfect fit guarantee. So get the perfect fit with Comfort Click.
Call 1-800-873-3971, or you can visit us online at comfortclickbelt.com. Don't delay. Call or click today.
Start your day with Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno, opening the window to your weather on AMHQ. Mornings on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back to our coverage of severe weather. We're looking at a tornado threat in addition to a large hail and damaging wind threat across parts of the Mid-South. And here's what's happening in the lowest levels of the atmosphere. You've got an area of low-level winds coming out of the southwest while winds are coming out of the south at the surface. That turning of the wind in the lowest levels of the atmosphere is giving us rotation in a number of these storms, including this one right here. Tornado warning for Hickman, Lewis, and Perry counties. That's in western Tennessee, southwest of Nashville. And right in there is the circulation. This thing has been rotating for a really long time, and that's coming into Hohenwald right now. So you need to get to your safe place immediately there in Hohenwald, generally moving off towards the east, maybe just a little south of east, coming across Route 412, and it's going to be moving into Hohenwald in the next minute or so. Etna near the bottom of the hour, Gordonsburg at 6:36. Can also look and see if there's any evidence of debris at this time. Very noisy picture, nothing that is concrete there. Oh, look at that, brand new scan, and that looks, that is what we call a tornado vortex signature right there. You see that? That is a tornado, that little guy right there, and that is now coming into Hohenwald. So please, folks, you need to get to your safe place immediately. And again, this is moving east at about 30 miles per hour. So it looks like it's going to be coming right across Hohenwald here in just the next few minutes, and then moving into Blondie at 6:29. Very dangerous storm, likely tornado on the way there in Hohenwald. Alex, Mike, back to you.
All right, Carl, thank you. thank you. Know you'll stay on top of that. Well, let's now take you halfway around the world where Tropical Cyclone Debbie is about to make landfall in Australia. Main threats from Debbie: damaging winds, storm surge, as well as flooding from heavy rain.
Now, I want to check back in with storm tracker Josh Morgerman. He is on the phone with us in Queensland. Right now, Josh, it's the morning hours, and we saw from your tweets you've been watching this one, and pressures have been dropping now as that eye closes in.
Yeah, totally. After being stalled all night, I've been noticing on radar that the core of the cyclone is finally starting to inch toward us. Pressure's dropped a couple of millibars over the last 45 minutes, and the winds are now picking up. Like it's starting to get that edge to it. So I think we're just about to get nailed by this thing.
So, Josh, would you consider yourself right now in the eye wall of this?
Not yet, not yet. The eye wall is getting close to us. I would say we're in the inner rain band, but yeah, the eye wall is not quite. Like the winds are this in the U.S. that we would call this a Category 3 hurricane, and the winds are not yet to hurricane force, so we're definitely not in that core yet.
And you mentioned, you know, a lot of the buildings there have tin roofs, so you're concerned about the wind and all the debris that could be flying around. How are the buildings fairly sturdy? Do you feel good about staying safe where you are?
Yeah, I mean, generally I do. I mean, Australia has very good cyclone codes. An Australian city, Darwin, was just completely wiped flat to the ground by a cyclone in 1974, Cyclone Tracy. Since then, they had a big crackdown, and now Australia has really great codes. But some of the smaller towns or ones with older buildings sometimes will have problems.
Hey, Josh, can you tell us about how populated this part of Australia is for those of us that aren't really familiar with this part?
It's not very populated. It's dotted with small to medium-sized towns. I would describe it as sort of like the Gulf Coast of the United States. You know, it's very, very green. There's a lot of towns with like 10, 20,000 people, and the major population centers have around 80 to 100,000. There's only a few of them, so it's pretty sparsely populated overall.
All right, Josh Morgerman, thank you so much again for the insight. We're going to be checking back in with you. His first Southern Hemisphere cyclone as well.
That's the most powerful one in the world right now, so good to have him there for us, being our eyes and ears. By the way, a couple other tropical tidbits for you this evening. 2 hurricane names were just retired by the World Meteorological Organization from last year. That's Hurricane Matthew and Hurricane Otto, occurring last October and last November.
Yeah, we see these storm names retired if they are so deadly or particularly destructive. Hurricane Matthew, of course, killed almost 600 people, most of them in Haiti. Also caused widespread damage across the southeast U.S. before it made landfall in South Carolina. We all remember the flooding rains across the southeast due to Matthew.
Absolutely. And then Hurricane Otto broke several records, making landfall on Thanksgiving Day in Costa Rica and Nicaragua. The latest landfall in the Atlantic Basin farthest south for any known hurricane as well.
All right, so when that 2016 list is used again in 22, Matthew and Otto will be replaced by Martin and Owen.
All right, look for them 5 years from now. All right, still to come here on the show tonight, severe thunderstorm watches in place across a lot of the south. We're tracking those threats for you tonight, where the threat for winds, hail, and tornadoes is.
Yeah, and we've got to look back at stunning video from yesterday as severe thunderstorms pummeled the southern plains. See it through the eyes and cameras of our storm trackers next.
I want the most out of my health and life, so I trust Nature-Made vitamins. Because they were the first to be verified by USP for quality and purity standards, and because I recommend them as a pharmacist.
Nature-Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand.
Dish was founded on innovation to cover the millions of Americans the cable companies wouldn't. Why? Because when we've gotten it right, it was when we were listening. Not to ourselves, but to our customers. And I'm here to spread the word. But I'm not a spokesman. Instead, I'm a spokeslistener. And I'm here to listen in an industry that doesn't. Why? Because at Dish, we're tuned in to you.
The Command Performance Sales event is here. Experience exciting offers on our most thrilling models ever.
Get up to $2,500 customer cash on select 2017 models for these terms.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Tomorrow's the day we'll play something besides video games.
Every day is a gift, especially for people with heart failure. But today, there's Entresto, a breakthrough medicine that can help make more tomorrows possible.
Tomorrow, I want to see Teddy bait his first hook.
In the largest heart failure study ever, Entresto is proven to help more people stay alive and out of the hospital than a leading heart failure medicine. Women who are pregnant must not take Entresto. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren. If you've had angioedema while taking an ACE or ARB medicine, don't take Entresto. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high potassium in your blood.
Tomorrow, I'm gonna step out with my favorite girl.
Ask your doctor about Entresto and help make the gift of tomorrow possible.
My belly pain and constipation, I could build a small city with all the over-the-counter products I've used. Enough.
I've tried enough laxatives to cover the eastern seaboard.
I've climbed a Mount Everest of fiber.
Probiotics, enough.
If you've had enough, tell your doctor what you've tried and how long you've been at it. Linzess works differently from laxatives. Linzess treats adults with IBS with constipation or chronic constipation. It can help relieve your belly pain and lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements that are easier to pass. Do not give Linzess to children under 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Don't take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor about managing your symptoms proactively with Linzess.
Once there was a little pig that had built his house out of straw. One day, a big bad wolf huffed and he puffed and blew the house down. Luckily, the Geico Insurance Agency had helped the pig with homeowner's insurance. He had replacement cost coverage, so his house was rebuilt good as new. The big bad wolf now has a job on a wind farm. Call Geico and see how easy it is to switch and save on homeowner's insurance.
There's an opportunity in every window. So start your day opening the window to your weather with Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno, looking out at the stories and the science behind your forecast. Open up your mornings with AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
Closed captioning brought to you by California Walnuts. What makes this the best simple dinner ever? Great tasting, heart-healthy California walnuts. So simple. Get the recipes at walnuts.org.
New video into the Weather Channel. A funnel cloud near Walnut, Mississippi earlier this afternoon. This looking like it's awfully close to the ground. Yeah, usually Dr. Forbes says if it's 3/4 of the way down to the ground, you can pretty much make that decision that it's likely all the way to the ground. So I think this is a tornado here in Walnut, Mississippi, and one of the storms out there earlier today.
Hail and high winds are going to be the greatest risk that we see tonight, but as evidence here, you can't rule out that we'll see some tornadoes this evening. Welcome back, everyone, as we track severe weather for you tonight on Weather Underground. I'm Mike Bettis.
And I'm Alex Wilson. We're watching another round of storms tonight, taking aim at big cities across the south with hail, damaging winds, and the possibility of tornadoes.
All right, let's get right to storm specialist Carl Parker. He's up in the lab. Carl, what are the areas of greatest interest to you right now?
Well, right now, western Tennessee, we've got a lot of wind shear in the lowest levels of the atmosphere there, and that's why we've been looking at a number of rotating storms in that area. You've got a very strong system now coming across the mid-south. You can really see the spin in the atmosphere right there, and a lot of what is called deep layer shear over top of areas where temperatures are warm enough to support severe weather. So that is exactly where we've got the warnings now from Kentucky down through Tennessee and down into Alabama and Mississippi. And the tornado warnings ongoing. This is the area where you've got the greatest low-level wind shear, and a tornado warning now for Hickman, Lewis, and Maury counties going until 7 p.m. Looking at the velocity data, the strongest signatures showing up right in there. That's where you've got the spin near Hohenwald, and that is generally moving east, so we'll take that forward, and that's going to move right down along Route 412 there and move into Salem 633, Gordonsburg 635, and Hampshire at about 644. Possible tornado on the way. I can show you something as we look at a different mode here and get in a little bit tighter. There was one scan where we got to look at what was almost certainly a tornado right in there. You see that? We look for these broader areas where you've got red and green, where you've got circulation occurring, and you see that there. That's the broader area right there. But when you see that feature right there, when it's really tight, a little pinpoint of red and green, that couplet, that is a tornado vortex signature. So that was a likely tornado coming into the Hohenwald area. And as we look at it right now, it's a lot messier than that. We're not seeing that same level of definition. Nonetheless, very dangerous storm. Another thing I can look for is see if there's any evidence of debris. Looks like we might still be looking at a tighter circulation right in there, just northeast of Hohenwald. And boy, that does look like it might be some debris. It's a little difficult to tell, but we could be talking about some debris there. So please take cover immediately in this area right along Route 412. Also, another tornado warning off to the south of that, the southwest of that, that is Hardin County under warning. And here we're looking at a sort of a broader circulation right in there. It's not as tight. Nonetheless, there is a potential for a tornado in this area. Taking that forward, that's going to be moving down across Route 128, Centerview just the next minute or so, and Olive Hill 642, Crow, Texas at about 6:37. Then up into Kentucky we go. Big area of potential damaging wind that's coming right into Lexington right now, moving rapidly northeast, 60 miles per hour. Taking that on forward, that's going to be coming into Lexington in just the next few minutes, then getting into Winchester at 7:50 and moving into Paris at 7:57. Alex, over to you.
Oh man, it's coming down. It's beating us to death out here, I think. It's a little bit hard to hear. It's pretty loud, this car, when it goes to beating on the top of it. We actually had to come.
Yeah, that's storm tracker Kelly Williamson. He was getting pounded by hail during severe storms last night. This one in southern Oklahoma. As you can imagine, hail did a lot of damage to cars, roofs, and windows across parts of Oklahoma, also Texas.
Yeah, it had a little deeper thud to it, so you know it was just a little bit bigger hail. So Kelly had a lot of interesting weather that he ran into yesterday, and it wasn't just the hail. How about what he saw in Oklahoma? And this was in southern Oklahoma, and this funnel cloud that he captured here. This is a pretty remarkable shot too.
Yeah, this was around the Ada area. We were watching this storm. He said at times it would drop a little more, and then it would go retreat back up. At least a good-looking funnel cloud there from Kelly around Ada. Then, of course, he went to McAllister, Oklahoma, and we went from the funnel cloud to the hail, big hail there, at least a lot of it. It wasn't as big as we saw across parts of North Texas, but still some decent-sized hail. He said his car had some new dents on it. Then, Elmore, Oklahoma, it's the large rain shaft. So Kelly caught all sorts of severe weather. Here you're looking at the rain and the hail coming down from that storm. Looks like it just stretches all the way to the ground. Kind of looks like the stem of a mushroom, Mike.
That's pretty awesome stuff there, isn't it? And any chaser will tell you, and if you look at their vehicles, no one drives a new car.
No. No.
Because you're going to get dented. You just know at some point you're going to go through a hailstorm, and so no point driving a fancy new car out there.
He basically said a few new dents
on
it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hey, we've got a new tornado warning I want to tell you about here across parts of the plains. We've got the warnings on, and this one is into the state of Tennessee. We're watching two storms not far from each other, both well to the south and west of the Nashville area. Let's start with the one off to the west, or rather north of Lawrenceburg. This one's going to be stretching towards the Columbia area. We've got this tornado warning in Hickman, Lewis, and Maury counties. Hohenwald and Mount Pleasant are the cities in the path of this storm. So if you're in either of those towns, lowest level, most interior room where you want to be. Now we've got this storm moving east in Hardin County. Also a possible rotation within that one. So a tornado warning until 7 o'clock local time. Plenty of severe thunderstorm warnings stretching from Kentucky all the way down into Mississippi this evening. Forecast looks like this as we time out your future radar. Storms stretching through eastern Tennessee, North Alabama, North Georgia into the early morning hours of your Tuesday. So you got to be on alert for some storms even into the overnight hours. Maybe have a way to get those alerts should they be issued, should some hail or damaging winds be a problem in your area. Then tomorrow we go back to the southern plains for the next storm system that offers up again a chance of hail, damaging winds, and isolated tornadoes in places like Oklahoma City and Dallas. There is the threat, rather the future radar showing that threat translate into the afternoon. We've got western Oklahoma, north central Texas. Those storms rolling through places like Oklahoma City as we get to around 8 o'clock, Mike.
All right, well, let's talk about some other storms that are coming our way and where they'll hit. Houston, Jackson, and Birmingham, all places where storms come by midweek. And then we could actually get some more storms that come in more toward the weekend as well. So let's run through the forecast here and update you on places like Midland and Amarillo and Wichita Falls. 3s or 4s on our Torcon. Our Torcon is our 0 to 10 scale here at the Weather Channel we use to give you your risk of a tornado. 0 is no risk, 10 is 100% risk. So just multiply this by 10 and you get your percentage chance, okay? There's a look at Wichita Falls. Morning we have thunderstorms in the forecast, more scattered in nature, becoming really vigorous though through the afternoon with the daytime heating, say 4 to 7 especially, and then the storms will be in there still around 10 o'clock. Into Dallas, it'll be late tomorrow, probably well after you go to bed tomorrow before they come in. That's 6 o'clock, nothing's happening. In fact, midnight, nothing happening. 2 o'clock, now the storms are right into DFW, and we watch for the storms potentially be hanging around even in the morning. There's 7 o'clock in the morning, and still some showers out there, so maybe a little slick on the roads as you work your way out to work. All right, Oklahoma City, Dallas, and Shreveport on Wednesday now. Here comes another threat. Torcons of 3-4s here, or a 30% chance that we could see tornadoes. For Oklahoma City, it's Tuesday evening, overnight Tuesday, Wednesday morning, and then Wednesday night. So it's going to be very, very active the next 48 hours for us in Oklahoma City. Now in Houston, Wednesday night is our prime threat. Thursday will look a little bit drier now, but again, as I was mentioning, a threat could come in, say, by the weekend. So for Thursday, Jackson, Mississippi, Birmingham, Alabama, and Paducah, Kentucky, as the threat shifts now east. We've got torcons of 3s and 4s here, so a 30 to 40% chance that we could see tornadoes now across the southeast. For Jackson, Thursday night, those are your prime times for risks here. And then Friday, things start to improve for us here. Temperature right around 75 degrees with partly cloudy skies. For Birmingham, Thursday and Thursday night, but we're watching for your storms. By Friday, just morning rain that's left over. But that's round 2. We've got yet another round that comes in after that as these storm systems just keep spinning on through.
Would you believe we've got round 3? You would, because it seems to be the pattern we're in. There's that one for the middle of this week. Notice what's on deck there off the Pacific Northwest. That one drops down into parts of the southern plains, again into the upcoming weekend. So we'll watch for the chance of storms Saturday and Sunday.
I feel like Tornado Alley really going to live up to its namesake this week. We're positioning these lows in just the right locations where you're going to get these lee-side lows that form off the Rockies. You're going to get this perfect fetch of moisture that comes in for the Gulf of Mexico. And so the hail, the wind, and the tornado threat is there almost nonstop. Right, and you know, that's going to be an issue. I think a lot of times people deal with storms and they think, okay, finally it's over and we can take a breath, but with the setup that we've got, it's one after another. You only get a day or 2 break, then you've got to be on alert again. So you get some storm fatigue, and you really need to stay on point, on message as far as the forecast is concerned in the next few days. Usually the atmosphere takes a little bit of time to reload. In this instance, it takes like a break of 1 day, and that's about it. So absolutely. Taking a lot more of your questions tonight, by the way, here on Weather Underground. Just send them in via Twitter, Brandon, right?
Yeah, hashtag WUTV. We've got one here from Chris. Chris is asking about the conditions for tornadoes. Can we have them without hail and winds? We'll find out. Also, Mike Seidel coming up here shortly.
Constipated? Trust #1 doctor recommended Dulcolax. Use Dulcolax tablets for gentle, dependable relief, suppositories for relief in minutes, and Dulcoes for comfortable relief of hard stools. Dulcolax, designed for dependable relief.
Anything meant to stand needs a stable foundation. A body without proper foot support can mean pain. The Dr. Scholl's kiosk maps your feet and recommends our custom-fit orthotic to stabilize your foundation and relieve foot, knee, or lower back pain from being on your feet. Dr. Scholl's.
You might take something for your heart, your joints, or your digestion. So why wouldn't you take something for the most important part of you, your brain? With an ingredient originally found in jellyfish, Prevagen is now the #1 selling brain health supplement in drugstores nationwide. Prevagen, the name to remember.
Long live the courageous, the tenacious, the ones who push forward and give back. Long live the greater good, the helping hand, and long live the truck built to outlast them all. Ram, America's longest lasting pickups.
Consumer Cellular makes it easy to stay in touch with family and stay within our budget.
Now our cell phone bill is only a fraction of what it used to be.
Our average customers get everything they need for about $25 a month, and plans start at only $10 a month with no contracts.
Consumer Cellular has a great choice of phones. Check out my new one. I picked this simple phone.
I use my son's old smartphone. Kept my number, too.
Consumer Cellular has been an approved AARP provider since 2008, and members get exclusive discounts.
It's a good thing Consumer Cellular is always there, because sometimes I need a little help.
Sometimes. We're proud to have received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service among non-contract wireless providers.
Over the years, we've seen a lot of change.
We actually use change. Luckily, there are some things we can still afford.
Like Consumer Cellular.
Stop paying too much for wireless service. Switch to Consumer Cellular. And with our 30-day risk-free guarantee, it's easy. Call 1-800-918-5493. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Let me talk to you about retirement. 401k is the most sound way to go. Let's talk asset allocation. Sure.
You seem knowledgeable, professional.
I'm actually a DJ.
No way.
That really is you.
If they're not a CFP pro, you just don't know. CFP, work with the highest standard.
A month of madness. At Outback, here's our 3-point shot. 1, take our bloomin' onion. 2, cover it with Aussie cheese fries. 3, top it off with our centre-cut sirloin. The 3-point bloomin' onion. Over $25 worth for just $12.99. Hurry in, it's for March only.
Beyond is a natural pet food that goes beyond assuming ingredients are safe to knowing they are. Going beyond expectations because our pets deserve it. Beyond, natural pet food.
Welcome back to Weather Underground and our coverage of severe weather. A couple of tornado warnings to tell you about in southwestern Tennessee, south of Interstate 40. Let's zoom on in and get a look at these warnings. One of those is now to the west of 65, Hickman, Lewis, Maury counties. We did get a report of a funnel cloud in Hohenwald, and the circulation sitting right about in there. It's not as robust, not as well defined as it has been. Nonetheless, a very dangerous storm that could also be producing very large hail, and that's going to make its way into Hampshire 650, Mount Pleasant 657, Armour Village at 702. Please get to your safe place in all of those areas. Another tornado warning to the south of that, that is Hardin County, southwest I should say. There is the circulation right there, broad but strong circulation. And taking this forward, that's going to be moving right across Route 64, a little to the south of east, getting into Bethany Church 649 and making it into Houston in 655. Mike, Alex, back to you.
Carl, thank you very much. We're celebrating a milestone at the Weather Channel. Meteorologist Mike Seidel is marking 25 years with the network.
Yeah, we've learned a lot from Mike over the years. We've laughed a lot. We've enjoyed watching Mike do. Mikey do what he does most, and that's keep you informed about the weather in only ways he can do.
That's right. So we put together a little tribute to Mike, and for your entertainment, included some of our favorite Mike Seidel moments, of course.
Mike Seidel, you are a true weather warrior, my friend. Unstoppable in pursuit of whatever nature dishes out. Always proud to work with you, Mike. Congratulations on 25 years at the Weather Channel.
And, whoa. That's what I'm talking about.
Mike, you are synonymous at this point with the Weather Channel brand. People that come up to me are like, do you know that guy who's out in every single storm, Mike something? I'm like, yes, that's Mike Seidel. He's literally everywhere. It's awesome.
Thunder, snow, yes!
I feel like the only way to wish Mike Seidel a happy 25th anniversary is to do the Seidel lean. And you know, traditionally, silver is the gift that you give. And I couldn't find any silver around the office, but this. Do you think that'll work for Mikey? It's silver. Happy anniversary, Mikey. Wow.
Nobody is more dedicated to weather. Nobody's more excited about weather.
Whoa, that was, you know what? That was a little too close, guys.
And to do it as long as he's done it in the conditions he's done it in, remarkable. And 25 years, what an accomplishment.
That's like 175 years in dog years. I mean, he's practically Yoda.
I've got to hang on, I'll blow down the boardwalk.
25 years, that is an incredible feat. The question is, how many live shots and live locations does that take? I have no idea. I know it's an insane amount, but I know you know the exact number down to the T.
Let's go to Sky Tracker right. Well, as you can just see, that was awfully, awfully close.
You know this guy has only not been live from Hawaii, Alaska, Montana, Idaho, and Vermont, just 5 states?
One thing I'll never forget is the time we had Mike Seidel tailgating out there in a parking lot. He used to do that for the NFL games. And he picks up somebody's steak off the grill and then drops it right on the ground.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I mean, we were all dying back here in the studio.
We'll take care of those steaks.
My favorite Mike Seidel moment is fairly recent. He was reporting about snow in Nashville during the SEC basketball tournament. And during his report, a car comes by with a bunch of girls that are screaming out, and he acknowledges that. At the end of his report, it comes back to the studio, and Carl Parker goes,
Mike, I think if you hustle, you can catch up to the party wagon and hop on. What do you think?
And he is running down the street. He's blocks down. He's probably running for 3 minutes. It was very funny.
Happy 25 years of the Weather Channel. Congratulations, man. You totally earn every kudo that comes your way. Think about it. You helped grow the Weather Channel. You helped grow the Weather Channel.
Happy 25th anniversary, Mike. Here's to you.
25 years, Mike Seidel.
I like that Al took a vacation for him.
Right?
That was nice.
It seems like the guy never wants to take a day off.
No,
He's
he
dedicated
doesn't.
to weather
He
like
really
nobody
doesn't.
else, right?
He wants to be there. You were watching Mike watch some of those clips, and I can guarantee you he knows roughly what year he was and where he was in all of those.
Literally thousands of live shots in storms that he's done for us, and great treat for you this evening. Guess who's live with us here in the studio tonight on Weather Underground? Mr. Mike Seidel coming up here in just a little bit.
I'm getting a little misty-eyed.
We're going to actually recap some of your great moments over 25 years, so looking forward to you sitting down.
You know, it looks like I actually have something going on there. It looks like
You
I
did.
actually put something together over 25 years.
Just a little.
So we're going to come back and talk what we've looked at over the past quarter
Get some
century.
questions, too, from
I'm looking forward to
viewers.
it.
Cod Extravaganza is here at Long John Silver's. Try our new Coastal Beer Battered Cod. It's all-natural Alaskan cod dipped into a golden beer batter for a twist on a classic flavor. The choice is yours. Because at Long John Silver's, you deserve more.
Since when did experience become something to hide? I say we own it. Lose all that negativity. And lose those terrible black balloons they give you on your 50th.
We hear you. That's why our members love AARP the magazine.
If you don't think this is right for me when you think AARP, then you don't know ARP.
No matter when or where severe weather hits, storm recovery is something we all can lend a hand in. And one of the best ways you can help is to donate blood. That's why the Weather Channel is partnering with the Red Cross.
Here we go.
Whether preparing for a storm or assisting in the aftermath, a donation of blood helps save lives, period. Visit redcrossblood.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to learn more. Help with tomorrow's recovery by donating your blood today.
This piece is so you.
I saw it and I was just like, oh, I have to have it.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
This piece is so you. I saw it and I was like, have to have it.
From renter's insurance to rewards credit cards, State Farm is here to help life go right.
I just want to find a used car without getting ripped off.
Start at thenewcarfax.com.
Show me used trucks with one owner.
Pretty cool.
Show me the Carfax.
Start your used car search at theallnewcarfax.com.
As women, we need to take time to be active. That's what's so amazing about Poise Impressa.
It's so easy and it's so comfortable.
It helps you stop bladder leaks pad-free.
I can wear this nice dress and I don't have to wear a pad now.
Try Impressa today and start living comfortably pad-free.
At Crown Plaza, we know business travel isn't just business. There's this. a bit of this. Why not? Your hotel should make it easy to do all the things you do, which is what we do. Crown Plaza. We're all business. Mostly.
Heartburn.
No one burns on my watch.
Try Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. They work fast and don't taste chalky.
Amazing. I have heartburn.
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. Enjoy the relief.
As the next system moves in, make sure your vehicle is prepared. Rain, mud, dirt, and sand. With the advanced technology of WeatherTech floor liners, your vehicle is protected against the elements. Laser measured for a perfect fit, front, back, and even up the sides. Simply go to WeatherTech.com and order your ultimate vehicle protection today. Or call 1-800-CarMats. Stay one step ahead of the weather with WeatherTech.
I won this 55-inch TV for less than $30 on DealDash.com.
I got this $1,200 computer for $100.71.
These aren't actors, they're real people who got real savings at DealDash.com, the fair and honest bidding site. At DealDash.com, you can save up to 99%, but hurry, everything must go.
And shipping is always free.
Visit DealDash.com and start bidding today.
When it's the first date, when it's the last day of the year, when it's just the middle of the week, start every day owning it. Because now you can afford to own a complete collection of designer lingerie at adoreme.com. Shipping is free and exchanges are a breeze. And now, for a limited time, your first bra and panty set is just $19.95. That's 60% off. How can you afford to miss out on feeling this good every day? Go to adoreme.com right now.
If you love the window seat, start your day opening the window to your weather with AMHQ, mornings on the Weather Channel.
This is about as bad as I've ever been in my career at the Weather Channel. We're right on Plymouth Harbor. The winds are coming right off the water. We've been 39 gusts to 54. That's tropical storm force. And look at the drifts. Now in the foreground here.
That is Mike Seidel covering Winter Storm Juno 2 years ago, Plymouth Harbor. Mike is actually celebrating 25 years with the Weather Channel this month and joins us in the Weather Cave for the first time ever. We always talk to you remotely, Mike Seidel, but
I found it.
Good to have you here.
I've not been in the studio, shirt and tie, I think in 6 years.
Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding. I don't even know if my dress clothes would fit me anymore.
25 years. What's it been like? 25 years.
A lot of changes in technology. You know, the graphics, the studio. Just, you know, we didn't have a bar when I started.
No, we put that in because we figured you needed it.
Yeah.
25 years.
They're like, you know what, Seidel needs a bar.
For someone who doesn't drink coffee or alcohol.
All right.
Well, yeah, a lot of change. I mean, you know, with magnetic maps and paper maps, and it's incredible. I can't even imagine what technology TV is going to be like in 25 more years.
And as a guy who made that move from studio to field, would you ever go back? Or do you say, I need to be out in it now?
I need to be out in it. I have to have my fix. I love the field.
Yeah.
This is nice, though. I mean, I could get used to the couches.
Well, we brought these out for you. We haven't, sat.
After 25 years, we figured you needed to sit.
And you guys work like 3 hours a day, and I'm out in the field, you know, cranking it out for 16 to 18 hours.
It keeps you young, my friend.
You know, eating granola bars.
Let's talk a little bit more about you being out there in the field. Your top moments. What have they been?
There's so many. Let's talk about lake effect.
Okay.
And I'm not quite sure what video. We have all kinds of lake effect. Ashland, Wisconsin. This is in Buffalo.
Goodness.
This is December of 2001. They got 7 feet in 4 days.
Wow.
And I'm climbing through the parking lot. That's the hotel right on the next to the Buffalo airport. And it just cranked. I think they had 3 daily records. And this was the Christmas week. And we're up there trying to find cars. It's amazing. There's a Greek restaurant across the street. When I was doing the NFL the next fall, they said, why didn't you come over and eat while you were over there? And I said, I didn't even know you were over there. There's so much snow.
Right.
I mean, it didn't snow that much until you were back there recently.
That was 16 years. You haven't changed at all. I mean, look at... Yeah. You look exactly the same as you did 16 years ago.
Well,
that's amazing.
I've been very lucky.
You're doing something right.
I'm eating something right. But yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Your number 2 storm that you said it was Hurricane Isabel.
Isabel.
In 2003.
Nag's Head. And Well, no, this is Virginia Beach. This is Brian Williams from NBC. He called me over so we could measure the wind, and as I'm looking at the anemometer, watch what happens. A gust of wind takes us. Now we're in between two buildings, two hotels, and it took me, and I went airborne, and it hadn't been for an NBC producer to jumping on the back of my legs, I would have gone into a transformer head first. And Brian, to this day, always, I think, feels bad about that.
When was this?
This was September of 2003, Virginia Beach. And it was crazy. I mean, I was okay. And I've been back to that spot. I was back at that spot the last fall for Matthew.
Amazing.
Wow. And there I go down the street. Man, that was scary. I was only airborne for maybe 2 seconds, but when you have no control of what's going on, it's pretty
Not
scary.
Not a good feeling. No.
Yeah.
And another hurricane was your top 3 moment.
Well, we had Nora Ida, which was a tropical storm hurricane, and I covered it down near Pascagoula, Pass Christian. Now, this is in Virginia Beach a few days later. It was one of those items which became subtropical. This is before it came in. You can see the beach is still there, and this is me walking between the streets. You had to keep the center of gravity low so you could get through the wind. And I think we've got some pictures from when it was really raking the boardwalk at night. The whole
sandblasted.
Yeah, the whole beach went underwater. This is still the daytime, but the whole beach went underwater, and you had to hang onto the rail. But that was a crazy storm. They took out a lot of sand, and there's many other stories. Many other storms.
I think that the exfoliation is what you can thank for your youthful glow. Just so many times you got regular sandblastings and exfoliation.
And I remember my trip to Amarillo back in '98 with Simon Temperton, and these sleet pellets was the size of garden peas, and they were coming in at me like 35 miles an hour. And I mean, it just takes care of the epidermis.
Yeah.
Mike, our viewers, of course, adore you. They've had a lot of questions today, so let's answer a few of our questions tonight. And our first one tonight, this one comes from Patty, who asked, first, congratulations on 25 years. How has social media changed weather reporting? Is this a good or bad thing?
Oh, thank you very much, Patty. I think it's a good thing. I tell you, it's hard to get on social media and do the coverage because you're always out there. You're doing 2, 3, 4 live shots an hour, but it really connects you with the viewers, and you're also getting real-time data, reports.
Yeah, absolutely. We got time for one more question from a viewer, and this one comes to us from, do we have time? Julie. Truly, and she says, how impressed with you are you with the tools available now versus 25 years ago?
Oh, it's incredible. I didn't even there were no cell phones. When I was going out on live coverage, I'd have to pull over and use a payphone and call the news desk on one of those toll-free 800 numbers.
Wow.
I'm serious. I mean,
And now you can broadcast on your cell phone.
Now I broadcast on my cell phone. We don't need all this.
Yes, we do, Mike.
Yes, we do.
Mike, we do need it.
Mike, it's been a pleasure.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me in the studio.
Congratulations.
Glad to see you drive, my friend.
Yeah, and it'll be nice to get back out in the field at some point.
Can't wait till your 50th anniversary.
I won't be here.
Coming up tonight on Weather Underground, after a very active weekend of severe weather, storms continue tonight.
Halfway to the ground. This thing is growing. It's getting further to the ground. And David, we are on
south at risk
Road.
right now for strong storms with damaging winds, tornadoes, and
That's right, hail and big hail, adding to what's already a record pace for hail reports this year.
And this dangerous pattern continues all week. We're going to break down the latest timing and where the tornado threat increases tomorrow.
Plus the tropics and where this intensifying cyclone is making landfall this evening. We take you there live. Weather Underground starts right now. Thanks for staying with us here on the special edition of Weather Underground. I'm Mike Bettis. We're tracking round after round of storms across the south.
Yeah, I'm Alex Wilson. We've got an active night already shaping up across parts of the Tennessee Valley, even into parts of the south. We've seen tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings. We've seen reports of tornadoes as well as wind damage.
It's been a very active evening for us. Let's send it straight up to the lab and check in with storm specialist Carl Parker. He's watching it all on the radar. Carl.
Well, we are seeing some improvement right now, less warnings than what we saw for a lot of the afternoon and early evening. And here is a look at the radar picture from Kentucky down through Mississippi. There are still some severe thunderstorm warnings. The area that we've been really paying attention to is in western Tennessee, where we've got winds that are turning in the lowest levels of the atmosphere. And with that directional wind shear, we've had storms that have been rotating for a while. Now, a couple of tornado warnings here have been allowed to expire. We're still seeing some rotation showing up there near Mount Pleasant. We'll see if they decide to go ahead and reissue the tornado warning there. Another cell now along 64. There, too, still some broader circulation showing up. Tornado warning has been allowed to expire for the time being. We'll see if they decide to go ahead and issue another one in just a few minutes here. Also down into Jackson, Mississippi, looking at a severe storm now coming into the Jackson metro area. There is a severe thunderstorm warning here. I'm not sure why it's not showing up in the computer, but I can tell you that there is very strong wind that is coming right for downtown Jackson. And there's a look at that leading edge of the wind right there near Raymond. That is 70-mile-per-hour wind, about 1,000 feet off the ground. So we'll take this forward and see where that's going to be headed. And it looks like it's going to move right up through Jackson, through downtown Jackson, coming into Clinton at 7:08, Elton 7:14, Jackson 7:17, and Pearl at 7:22. 70-mile-per-hour wind, a possibility there, along with golf ball size hail. Up into Alabama we go. Still a warning here near Gadsden. Been looking at these really tremendous hail cores on these storms because they're rotating supercells. Rotating supercells are, they have a lower pressure aloft, and so they tend to keep the hail up in the air longer, and that's why they often have very large hail. So that is Etowah County under warning for large hail, and that is now moving towards the northeast, about 30 miles per hour, looking for the possibility of some quarter-size hail along with that storm. And then up into Kentucky, a couple of warnings to tell you about here, and one of those now southwest of Jackson, so heads up there in Jackson, Clay, Jackson, Owsley County under warning until 8:30. Another very impressive hail core. You see that sort of deep magenta color right there? That is the hail, and that's coming up towards Route 11. Let's go ahead and time that out as that moves towards the northeast, and that'll be moving up towards Cow Creek and Canoe, South Fork 807, Cow Creek at 812, and moving into Morris Fork at 815. Possible very large hail and damaging wind. Alex, over to you.
All right, Carl, thanks so much. I want to take you to Nashville, where they've already seen some strong, severe storms out there, and take a look at this picture. You can see the clouds and the rain off in the distance. 75 degrees right now. Let's take a look at the radar around Nashville, and basically you're looking towards these storms offering up some heavy rain. Plenty of lightning as well have been striking areas south and west of the city of Nashville. Also headed towards Columbia. An active few hours for you, and you've got still some storms to go in Nashville. Around 4 o'clock local time, you had some strong storms rolling through. Now you've got this batch of storms headed your way. These push east into places like Knoxville and Chattanooga into the early morning hours of your Tuesday. North Georgia, North Alabama also in that threat zone as we head into the early morning hours. So we'll watch for the storms to then diminish, but this is not the end of your storm threat in this part of the country. We'll be watching the next system that tomorrow brings the severe threat back into the southern plains. That's going to be pushing eastward over the next few days, so get ready. Places like Nashville, you'll be watching for storms again on Thursday. Here's tomorrow's future radar. So the storms are firing across western Oklahoma, north central Texas as we go through the afternoon and evening. By 8 o'clock, Oklahoma City, those storms pressing eastward, and they'll be working towards Dallas into your early morning hours of Wednesday. Then we go into the day Wednesday. The severe threat moves a little farther east. So instead of places like Abilene, we're now now watching Dallas to Shreveport, Memphis, and Little Rock. By Thursday, we go into areas that have seen the storms today. So our parts of eastern Arkansas, western Tennessee, a lot of Alabama, and the whole state of Mississippi under the threat of severe weather Thursday. Again, it will be damaging winds and hail that we have to watch for from those storms. So, Mike, no rest for the weary. An active pattern setting up, and then another round of storms to work through.
And it's important to know what your risk is for your city. So we're going to try to help you out in that venture there and show you Midland, Texas, Amarillo, as well as Wichita Falls. 434, those are Torcons here, and you're probably saying, okay, well, what's Torcon? Well, that's the Weather Channel scale of your tornado risk. It stands for Tornado Condition Index. It's 0 to 10. Easy to remember, right? 0, no risk. 10, 100% chance of a tornado. So just multiply this by a 10, you'll get a 30 or 40% chance of a tornado tomorrow in West Texas. So Wichita Falls, thunderstorms for us even in the morning, more intense through the late afternoon and the evening. Could last all the way through maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. So it'd be an off and on thing for you all day long tomorrow in Wichita Falls. For a place like Dallas and Fort Worth, late day we think for us, and likely well after dark for you. So most of the day you should be in fine shape. Don't change your plans for tomorrow during the day. But 3 o'clock in the morning, we're now surrounded by storms into Big D here, and then rolling through the Metroplex by about 7 o'clock in the morning. A new model run has come in now, so it looks like things begin to dry out for us just a little bit for us here in Dallas. But a place, say like Oklahoma City, Dallas, and Shreveport on Wednesday, threat returns again at about a 3 on the Torcon, or a 30% chance of tornado. So we've got the threat happening for us now. It'll happen for us through midweek and beyond, and then comes then in for the weekend too.
Right. We've got storm after storm. We've got our low here curling across parts of the east. Then we've got another one on deck into the Pacific Northwest. That one's going to move in for the middle part of the week. Of course, we've got our other one right here, and then another one. So a parade of storms firing up. You can see the swirls on the water vapor, and that trend has been for them to continue to make their way across the U.S., dropping down into the southern plains, tapping into that Gulf of Mexico moisture, and then continuing that trek into the southeast.
Don't you feel like we did this last week too?
Yeah, and
now we're doing it this week too. There it comes weekend and then early next week. So once we get through this week, don't think that the weekend offers you some breaks. For most of us, it doesn't.
Yeah, unfortunately, I know the weekend when you want to kind of just chill out, you want to not have to worry about anything. And for a place like Wichita, you've got the threat on Wednesday, another threat of storms coming in for the weekend.
All right, we'll be here to keep you updated on it. So keep tuned here to the Weather Channel, but have your guard up this week, that's for sure. All right, a lot more to come on the show tonight. We're covering, obviously, severe weather for you. Hail, an increasing threat. Who's in the bullseye for that in the days to come? We're going to let you know.
Plus, the Atlantic hurricane season is still months away, but the tropics are alive and well right now. We'll show you where this major tropical cyclone is making landfall, and we're going to take you there. Talk to someone living through it when we come back.
I want the most out of my health and life, so I trust Nature Made vitamins. Because they were the first to be verified by USP for quality and purity standards, and because I recommend them as a pharmacist.
Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand.
The average family's hectic home. It's raised 1 daredevil, 2 dynamic DIY duos, and an entrepreneur named Sharon. It's witnessed 31 crashes, 4 food fights, and the flood of '09. It's your paradise perfected with Behr Premium Plus low odor paint. The best you can buy starting under $25. Unbelievable quality, unbeatable prices. Only at the Home Depot.
Anything meant to stand needs a stable foundation. A body without proper foot support can mean pain. The Dr. Scholl's kiosk maps your feet and recommends our custom fit orthotic to stabilize your foundation and relieve foot, knee, or lower back pain from being on your feet. Dr. Scholl's.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when this guy got a flat tire in the middle of the night.
Hold on, Dad. Liberty did what?
Yeah, Liberty Mutual 24-hour roadside assistance helped him to fix his flat so he could get home safely.
My dad says our insurance doesn't have that. Don't worry, I know what a lug wrench is, Dad. Is this a lug wrench?
Maybe.
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Long live the courageous, the tenacious, the ones who push forward and give back. Long live the greater good, the helping hand, and long live the truck built to outlast them all. Ram, America's longest-lasting pickups.
Now get 0% financing or an average $11,506 in total values on the 2017 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab.
If you take medication, you may sometimes suffer from a dry mouth. That's why there's Biotene. And Biotene also comes in a handy spray, so you can moisturize your mouth anytime, anywhere. Biotene, for people who suffer from dry mouth symptoms.
Spring is on, so it's time to get started. But first things first, call True Green, America's #1 professional lawn care company. Millions of homeowners like you trust us to give them a lawn they can live on. Start your True Green lawn plan today for only $29.95.
It's time for buy one, take one, starting at $12.99 at Olive Garden. Come for an irresistible meal here and leave with a great meal too, so you can enjoy family time one more time. Buy one, take one, only for a limited time at Olive Garden.
I'm proud of what the Weather Channel is. It's a place you can turn to and trust.
Our team's taking you into the storm with live reports and expertise you won't get anywhere else.
We are meteorologists, and that makes a tremendous difference.
When it comes to a weather situation that warrants attention, we're the place to go. It's that simple.
If you love the window seat, start your day opening the window to your weather with AMHQ. Mornings on the Weather Channel.
Thanks for staying with us here on Weather Underground as we're following severe weather for you. Obviously, a big risk as we go through the even overnight. Storm specialist Carl Parker watching them on radar. And for a lot of people, even once they go to bed tonight, there'll still be a risk.
Yeah, that's right. We do think the storms are going to calm down later tonight. That's certainly going to be better than what we saw for a lot of the afternoon. But we've got this low-level wind shear in place where winds are coming out of different directions in the lowest levels of the atmosphere. It's been amazing to see how well correlated this area has been with the tornado warnings. We've had almost non-stop tornado warnings in western Tennessee for the last couple of hours. Now, there is a tornado warning here for Wayne County. For whatever reason, it's not showing up on our computer, but I can show you where the circulation is, and it is a vigorous circulation. It's right in there, just south of 64 and moving just a little to the south of east. And so we've got a possible tornado on the way here, dropping down towards the southeast, and that's going to be moving into Martins Mills at 720, Houston 724, and Cromwell Crossroads at 738. Now we can look for the presence of any debris there. There might be some debris there. There are some lower returns. It's a very noisy picture, but there certainly is a very strong circulation. There's a brand new scan and still seeing that strong circulation showing up there south of 64. Time that out for you one more time, taking it down to the southeast. And again, that's generally moving down towards Collinwood. So moving towards Collinwood at 739 if it's still around, and McCall School at 742. Very dangerous storm here. And again, because you've got this low-level shear, you've got the storms that continue to rotate hour after hour. Into Jackson, Mississippi. Here, too, there is a severe thunderstorm warning. Again, not showing up for some reason, but we can see the strong wind. That's another really great feature of Doppler radar. That area of bright green right in there, that strong wind getting ready, Mike, to come right into downtown Jackson. Could be winds of 70 miles per hour. Over to you.
All right, Carl, thank you very much for the update there. Those 70-mile-per-hour winds are no joke. So let's talk about the threat tonight, because it's winds, it's hail. Obviously, the tornado is going to be a risk as well.
Yeah, yesterday it was really prolific hail. We haven't seen hail that large, but still anything over an inch can cause you issues. And wind, we think, going to be a big problem for parts of the region, Ohio Valley, all the way down into parts of Mississippi and Alabama.
We've had plenty of hail reports already today. Maybe not the giant softball size hail or baseball size hail.
Which is okay, I think, with these folks.
I think people are perfectly fine with that, but it could be multiple rounds for many of you. And this area, maybe around Jackson, Tennessee, head down toward Tupelo, Mississippi. Those are areas where you could be at greatest risk through the evening. Yeah, and then the greatest risk for wind, lining up a bit with where we have now, also extending a little farther east, but notice west central Tennessee in that zone. So wind and hail, kind of a double whammy threat for you guys. Jet stream's relatively strong there, so potent to keep some of these storms producing wind and hail. Yeah. This is the area where we have severe thunderstorm watches. It really, all the maps seem to go together perfectly here, right? Extending from Kentucky back down through Tennessee, all the way back down into Alabama and Mississippi. So even Birmingham, we're in that risk area for the night. Right.
The storms propagating eastward, getting into parts of eastern Tennessee, heading around and towards the Nashville area. The model actually doing a good job at picking up on these. So the second round of storms heading back into eastern Tennessee, North Alabama, even into the early morning hours. I think North Alabama, upstate South Carolina, getting towards Charlotte, western western North Carolina, you could see some stronger storms.
Yeah, the upstate could be at risk as well. Even in the morning, you could have wet roads, so you're going to be woken up. It's going to be a completely inconvenient morning for you. You're going to get woken up from the middle of the night.
Right.
Hopefully you can get back to sleep, and then when you go out and you drive tomorrow, you'll be like, okay, great. Now my commute is kind of messed up because now we've got wet conditions and it slows down everything. So you're forewarned now.
Pack your patience.
Be prepared for a rough morning.
Yeah, and I always find that Tuesday is sometimes a rougher morning to get up and going than Monday is. You're tired, you're still in the early part of the week.
Yeah.
Resist the urge to snooze too much, though, because you might end up making yourself late and then, makes bigger problems.
Then there's just bigger problems like that, right? All right, still coming on Weather Underground, the tropics. We're going to take you to Tropical Cyclone Debbie in Australia. We're going to check in with Josh Morgan. He's near the eye right now.
More doing chores for mom, Pearl? More doing chores for dad, Pearl. More earning something you love, Pearl. Bounty is more absorbent, so the roll can last 50% longer than the leading ordinary brand. So you get more life per roll. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Love.
I got you, baby.
It's being there when you're needed most. Love is knowing
He's the one.
it was meant to be. And love always keeps you safe.
We're fine.
Love is why we built a car you can trust, now and for a long time to come. The all-new Subaru Impreza sedan and 5-door. A car you can love, no matter what road you're on. The Subaru Impreza. More than a car, it's a Subaru.
At Coors, our mountain is creating a more sustainable world. It's why we pioneered the recyclable can, made our breweries landfill-free, and built the most powerful solar array at any one brewery in the country. But our climb is far from over, so we keep pushing forward. Coors Light, whatever your mountain, climb on.
It's amazing out there. It means that you could take what some might call a boring weather day, but find a lot of fascinating aspects. You can look up in the sky and there's something to learn about the clouds or about the precipitation that's falling every single day. There's a lot of amazing stuff happening out there.
Your paycheck. Your family depends on it. But if something happened to you, you need life insurance. And chances are SelectQuote can get it for you for under $1 a day.
SelectQuote found Alec, 38, a $500,000 policy for under $23 a month. SelectQuote found Kenesha, 37, a $750,000 policy for $19 a month.
SelectQuote's secret? They impartially shop a select group of highly rated companies like these for your best rates. Give your family the security it needs at a price you can afford.
Since 1985, SelectQuote has saved over 1 million families millions of dollars on life insurance. Call now, 800-311-6499, or go to SelectQuote.com. Discover what over 1 million families already know. We shop, you save.
What makes me a weather geek? The fact that I love the weather, especially when it's hit me in the side of the face.
I'm gonna ride this one out, guys.
Be one of the thousands of weather geeks out there at WeLoveWeather.tv.
Welcome back to our coverage of severe weather. I want to tell you about ongoing warnings right now, including a tornado warning in southwestern Tennessee. This is south of Interstate 40, southwest of Nashville, Tennessee, and we're looking at a tornado warning in Wayne County right now. We're having some computer issues, so it's not showing up, but I can show you where the circulation is. It's sitting right in there, and it's looking like it's a little bit looser than it was in the last couple of scans. We go back a little bit, you can see how there's a pretty tight little couplet there, especially right there. Very, very sharp little, almost a tornado vortex signature showing up just south of Route 64. And in this most recent scan, it looks like it is broader. So perhaps some better news here. Still a lot of low-level shear, though, and a lot of concern. And this storm is now headed towards Collinwood. It's moving just a little to the south of east. So heads up there in Collinwood. Very dangerous storm coming your way. That's going to be moving towards Houston the next minute or so. Collinwood at 7:41 and Shawnette at 7:48. Also down into Jackson, Mississippi. Strong storm coming in right now under severe thunderstorm warning, and very strong winds now moving into downtown Jackson. Mike, Alex, over to you.
Carl, thank you. Let's head halfway around the world tonight. Tropical cyclone Debbie getting close to landfall in Australia. Main threats from Debbie likely to be wind, storm surge, and heavy rainfall flooding.
Yeah, our storm tracker Josh Morgerman is there giving us some perspective. This is Bowen in Queensland. And Josh, you know, you've been waiting and watching this thing as it's gotten closer. At last check, you weren't seeing any of those strongest winds yet. How have things changed in the last hour?
Yeah, big change over the last 20 minutes. We're now starting to get into the cyclone's core. The wind has picked up dramatically. I'm seeing down trees, branches flying through the air. The palm trees are bending way over. Yeah, we're definitely, the wind's making that like whistling sound. We're definitely now getting in the cyclone, and it's getting very dangerous here.
Josh, we know that you have a lot of instrumentation with you. You measure wind speeds, you measure pressure drops. What are you measuring right now?
Right now, the thing I've been looking at, really keying on, is the pressure. So usually when a hurricane or a cyclone approaches, the pressure falls fast. With this one, because it's so slow moving, it's just been it's actually stalled out, not fallen, then it will just fall millibar. But what we're finally seeing now is a drop. In fact, we're down to 970s now, which means that we're actually now getting into that area of strong winds because, of course, as you guys know, as the pressure, as we get into a stronger gradient or a greater sort of sharper change in the air pressure, we can expect those destructive winds.
Yeah, and how long are you expecting to have to, stay hunkered down through the worst of this?
I think it's going to be a while. That's a function of two things. One is the size of the cyclone, and the other is how fast it moves. This one is big and it's slow, so I think we're going to be kind of having this thing over us for a while.
Hey, Josh, how aware are the locals of this? Do they have good emergency preparations there?
Yeah, really good. Queenslanders, they're used to cyclones and they have their routine down, and they know what they're doing. They've had some brushes recently, so they're kind of up on their game, and I think everyone here seems very prepared.
All right, Josh Morgerman, we thank you so much for the insight. Best of luck to you as you work your way through the worst of this storm, and we're going to be following him on Twitter. You give updates as well to let us know your progress.
It'd be considered the equivalent of a Category 3 here stateside, yeah. But what a storm there. Hey, we've got some other tropical news to talk about this evening. Just today, the World Meteorological Organization retired 2 hurricane names from last season. That'd be Hurricane Matthew and Hurricane Otto. You remember Hurricane Matthew when it hit in October of last year. 585 people were killed, many of them in Haiti after it barreled through the Caribbean.
Yeah, it also caused widespread damage across the southeast of the U.S. Before it made landfall there in South Carolina, flooding rain. We remember that being a huge story across eastern parts of the Carolinas, especially North Carolina.
Absolutely, a tragic scene. And then there was Hurricane Otto, broke several records making landfall on Thanksgiving Day in Costa Rica and Nicaragua as well. That is both the latest landfall in the Atlantic Basin and the farthest south landfall of any hurricanes. So 2 very distinct hurricanes that had their names retired. Those names will never be used again.
So when we go back to the list that was in 2016, back again in 2022, hard to believe it's coming up. And Matthew and Otto will be replaced by Martin and Owen.
The list of names recycles every 6 years, and the names are retired only if they cause you don't have damage or destruction or deaths, it'd be insensitive to use those names again. So in 2016 and 2022, we'll have different list of names.
And here's our 2017 storm news. We're going to begin things with Arlene, take it all the way to Whitney. Of course, Whitney replacing Wilma. These are the storm names that we used back in 2005.
Katia replaces Katrina. Yeah. All right, still in Weather Underground, more thunderstorms that we'll watch for you tonight. We'll check back in on the radar, and Storm Specialist Carl Parker takes a look.
Dish was founded on innovation to cover the millions of Americans the cable companies wouldn't. Why? Because when we've gotten it right, it was when we were listening. Not to ourselves, but to our customers. And I'm here to spread the word. But I'm not a spokesman. Instead, I'm a spokeslistener. And I'm here to listen in an industry that doesn't. Why? Because at Dish, we're tuned in to you.
Dish, tuned into you. Visit dish.com to learn more.
Heartburn.
No one burns on my watch. Try Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. They work fast and don't taste chalky.
Amazing. I have heartburn.
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. Enjoy the relief.
The Command Performance Sales Event is here. Experience exceptional offers on our most refined models ever.
Get up to $2,500 customer cash on select 2017 models for these terms.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
You don't let anything keep you sidelined. That's why you drink Ensure with 9 grams of protein and 26 vitamins and minerals. For the strength and energy to get back to doing what you love. Ensure, always be you.
Introducing Cologuard.
I'm here for an important reason. Colon cancer screening. If you're age 50 or older and at average risk, Cologuard finds cancer and precancer. And it's a non-invasive test you can use at home. In fact, I'm as easy as get, go, gone. How do you get me? Your doctor orders me, and I'm delivered directly to your doorstep. There's no need for time off or special prep because I use the DNA in your stool to find colon cancer. Then you just go. I mean, collect your sample. Then I'm gone. Just ship me to the lab. Gotta go.
Cologuard is intended for individuals at average risk for colon cancer. Cologuard is not for high-risk individuals, including those with a history of colon cancer or polyps, IBD, certain hereditary cancer syndromes, or family history of colon cancer. Cologuard, colon cancer screening that's as easy as get, go, gone. Ask your doctor if Cologuard is right for you.
Grilled burgers go great with Bush's baked beans. But if I'm feeling bolder, I go for Bush's Grillin' Beans with steaks or chops.
Dude, I like this new wild side.
Bush's Beans. We've got a bean for you.
Mom, Dad, we need to talk. In case you haven't noticed, things have changed. I'm not the same person I used to be.
I think it's time we take things to the next level.
Kids grow up. So do vacations. 3 theme parks. 5 resort hotels.
I'm ready.
Are you?
Universal Orlando Resort.
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Jack knocked over a candlestick onto the shag carpeting, and his pants ignited into flames, causing him to stop, drop, and roll. Luckily, Jack recently had Geico help him with renter's insurance, because all his belongings went up in flames. Jack got full replacement and now has new pants he ordered from Banana Republic. Visit geico.com and see how affordable renter's insurance can be.
You know what makes me a weather geek is owning like 5 weather stations at my house, and then I name them. Who does that? Seriously. I did. I named my weather station Albedo. For you weather geeks, you'll understand what that is. And then I have Albedo Jr. Don't ask. Join the Weather Channel fan community at weloveweather.tv.
New video into the Weather Channel. A funnel cloud near Walnut, Mississippi that we think is likely a tornado. Usually Dr. Forbes says it's about 3/4 of the way down from the cloud. You can make the assumption that it's reaching all the way, and this one looks like it's doing just that. This is taken yesterday, or rather earlier this afternoon, from Highway 72 between Corinth and Walnut there in Mississippi.
Threat for tornadoes is certainly there this evening, as well as hail and high winds. Thanks for staying with us here on Weather Underground as we keep you ahead of that threat. I'm Mike Bettis.
And I'm Alex Wilson. We are watching expecting that next round of storms, or at least the first round, day 2, working eastward. Some big cities at the south included. We've got several rounds of storms headed our way this week. We've got one today, and this is also including yesterday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, our next threat, and then into the weekend, another threat.
All right, so we're going to detail all of those for you coming up. I know it's a lot to digest, but let's get to the action this evening. Storm specialist Carl Parker watching everything on the radar. Carl.
We've been looking at a lot of supercell storms tonight, which is to say storms that have a rotating updraft, and the linchpin and all of that. Low-level wind shear that's been in place, and you see that right now. This is the current low-level wind shear here across parts of Tennessee and also in Alabama. So where you've got that, you've got more potential for supercells. And with supercells, you've got a tornado threat, but you've also got a large hail threat. We've seen a lot of reports of large hail tonight. Now, you notice that this group of storms, which was more individual cells earlier, are starting to become a line of storms. It's a little harder to get tornadoes within a line that you see more of a damaging wind threat. And I think that's where we're going from here. But there is still now a tornado warning in Wayne County. Unfortunately, not showing up in our computer right now, but I can tell you that we are seeing much, much less definition to this circulation. So we'll go back in time. This is 710. Look at that right there. I mean, that is a rapid rotation right there. Could very well have been a tornado at that time. We take that forward and see where it is right now, and it's a lot more diffuse. And there's sort of a broad sheer area right in there that's coming towards Collinwood. Still possible that it could be producing a tornado. So heads up there in Collinwood, but it does look broader, not as well defined right now. So hopefully that means we've got some good news here. Now, down into Alabama, severe thunderstorm warning for the Birmingham metro area. We've got a little line segment now coming in, a little bowing structure, and along with that, some very strong winds. Could also be some quarter-size hail. That is coming right into downtown Birmingham right now and lifting off to the northeast. So it'll make its way towards Mountain Brook at 736, Irondale 743, Bel Air 744, and 751 is when it will get into center point. And then to the north of that, some very healthy looking cells around Gadsden. Severe thunderstorm warnings here. Look at the hail core on that guy right there. That's now right along 278, and that's going to be lifting up towards center, generally speaking. So watch out for some large hail as that moves in your direction, getting towards Cedar Bluff just past the top of the hour. Also up into Kentucky, things looking a little bit better here. We had some warnings for a while. Still got a pretty good little line segment right there coming towards Jackson, and certainly going to be some gusty winds along with that. And there's still a hail threat on top of that near Buckhorn. And as we look at the model forecast, all of this is going to be settling down. We're going to see less instabilities. You lose the daytime heating, you lose the instability, and so generally speaking, these storms are going to begin to settle down. We'll see sort of a big complex of storms making its way through northern Alabama, Tennessee through late tonight. A lot of heavy rain, some lingering thunder and lightning, but less of a damaging wind hail threat, certainly less of a tornado threat as well. And then we expect to see a lot more, though, as we go through the rest of the week, and we'll have more on that coming up in just a moment.
Oh man, it's coming down. It's beating us to death out here, I think. It's a little bit hard to hear. It's pretty loud in the car when it goes to beating on the top of it.
Storm tracker Kelly Williamson getting pounded by hail during severe thunderstorms last night. This happened during his travels in southern Oklahoma. As you can imagine, hail did a lot of damage to cars, roofs, and windows across parts of Oklahoma, as well as the state of Texas. Hail reports in excess of 2 inches, 3 inches, even 4 inches yesterday.
Softball-sized hail yesterday. It seemed like Kelly was in the middle of all of it at one point yesterday, so we thought we'd give you a little best of Kelly Williamson tonight, okay? That was some hail. How about this funnel cloud? Now, this was a really great capture by him, wasn't it? A good get.
Yeah, once again, around the Ada, Oklahoma area, and he had been watching this one, said it would drop a funnel, then work its way back up, and he was watching this one time after time. Then, of course, we went from funnels to the hail pounding Kelly's car. Also, the road in McAllister, Oklahoma, there was a large rain shaft then that he caught in Elmore, Oklahoma. Look at this thing. Looks like a spaceship when it shoots the beams down, but what you're looking at is that heavy rain and hail coming from that thunderstorm. Incredible stuff. So Kelly had some good gets. We got a rain shaft, we had some serious hail, and a funnel cloud.
I love it when we can look back at these storms and enjoy
reminisce.
them.
Yeah. He's always bringing us
good job yesterday.
Good stuff. So yeah, and he's positioning himself to be ready to bring you the views of the storms tomorrow, where we expect them some of the same places that we saw them yesterday. Amarillo, Abilene, San Angelo, Dallas, and Oklahoma City, all in that threat zone for your Tuesday. We'll be watching Torcons as in that 4 range as well. Here's the way the future radar shapes up. Start off tomorrow morning with storms in West Texas. Then they work eastward, becoming a line, perhaps some tornadoes in there. Hail damaging winds, also a big threat. Oklahoma City around 8 o'clock. You're going to be in the thick of things. Dallas, the storms charging your way as we get towards the early morning hours of your Wednesday. So even into Wednesday morning, things could remain stormy across this region. 10, 11 o'clock. Dallas, you're still dealing with the rain showers and the thunderstorms. Here is the threat for Wednesday. We watch that storm threat move a little farther to the east. So now we get into, say, Dallas and also the Little Rock area, Shreveport, Louisiana. Thursday, areas that we're watching today, again, dealing with the threat of wind, hail, and perhaps tornadoes. So, Mike, you know, this is what we say. There are several rounds of storms, and you can't let your guard down after one moves through.
Absolutely not. In case in point here, you know, Houston, Jackson, and Birmingham. So we'll be dealing with round 2 that comes in by midweek. And look how warm it is in all these places. Temperatures in Birmingham, by the way, we got some pretty good storms that are happening for us right now. Jackson, we've had the storms as well. Now in Houston, it probably end up being for us tomorrow, then going into Wednesday. So let's talk about your forecast specifically so you know what to expect in those areas and beyond. For Texas, Midland, Amarillo, and Wichita Falls, tornado risk is there tomorrow. Torcons of 3 or 4, so 30 to 40% chance that we'll have some tornadoes for you tomorrow. Now in Wichita Falls, awkward times for you, all right? So I want to step you through this because notice, 10 o'clock in the morning, we actually have thunderstorms in the forecast in the morning. They go through midday, and then things get really vigorous in the afternoon with some more daytime heat, and we increase the instability. Thunderstorms go up as you would expect them to and become quite violent through the afternoon and evening. So let's talk about Dallas. So you're downstream from a place like Wichita Falls. We're good through the day. Do not change your plans for the middle of the day tomorrow. In fact, even at 6 o'clock, nothing's happening for us. Dinner time, we're fine. It's after midnight. The storms roll in tomorrow. So Fort Worth and Dallas, even Denison, 3 o'clock in the morning, those rumbles of thunder are waking you up. And we'll have wet pavement for your drive out, but 8 o'clock, we're pretty much done with most of the storms at that point. Oklahoma City, Dallas, and Shreveport, Wednesday now. Here we go. A Torcon 3 as storms return once again. So about a 30% chance that tornadoes could come calling for us by midweek. So obviously there are issues here as we go through the week, and then the other rounds come in after that. What that means is you get a break. So we'll have yesterday and today. We'll have midweek, maybe a bit of a break on Friday. Then here we go on Saturday and Sunday for round 3.
Right. And a lot of the same areas in the threat zone time after time. So you get a little storm fatigue. Also, I think people just hear storms, and then once you get one, you think, okay, the threat's passed. But with the pattern that we've got shaping up, we've just got storm after storm. They're just parading eastward. When one moves through, another one's ready to move into that spot.
Yeah, and it's very similar locations. See where these lows want to keep tracking? It's right there through the heart of the country, and that just is a perfect setup for us to see severe weather in the plains, the southeast, and even into the Midwest.
Yeah, tapping into that Gulf of Mexico moisture. So we've got another disturbance digging into parts of the west. You notice all the swirls here. They show up nicely on the water vapor imagery, and they'll be moving in once again. So we've got another one there over the Pacific, and then more even over towards Japan. Amazing how these systems work their way eastward, and something that's on the other side of the world right now could be affecting us next week.
But now's the time to think about what you would do.
Right.
Know what county you live in, because the warnings will be issued by county. Have an alert on your mobile phone. Have an alert with a weather radio. They're not that expensive. You can buy one at the hardware store. They're $25, $30 could save your life in the middle of the night.
You got it. So save yourself the trouble, the questions last minute.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to be answering your questions coming up, right, Brandon?
Yes. Hashtag WUTV on Twitter. We've got one here from Thomas. Thomas is asking about Northwest Georgia, my home. You know, light rain right now. Is there still a threat for severe weather? We'll tell you. Coming up here shortly, Carl Parker will help us out, and we'll answer them all in the next few minutes before we turn it over to Ray Sager.
I like his handle, drinking sand.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Jim.
What's going on?
I'm just looking for a movie on Xfinity X1. Show me movies about weather.
Sweet. How the heck did you do that?
It's the new X1 voice remote from Xfinity. You just say it and then you see it.
Here, let me try this. Show me the Weather Channel.
Are in for a lot of rain. For more on this, let's go to Jim Cantori in the lab. Jim?
Show me in the lab.
That's not how it works. Keep up with the weather and so much more with Xfinity X1.
The average family's hectic home. It's raised 1 daredevil, 2 dynamic DIY duos, and an entrepreneur named Sharon. It's witnessed 31 crashes, 4 food fights, and the flood of '09. It's your paradise perfected with Behr Premium Plus low odor paint. The best you can buy starting under $25. Unbelievable quality, unbeatable prices. Only at the Home Depot.
May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others. Let others.
Long live community.
You build a ladder to the stars.
And long live the truck that pulls one together. Ram, America's longest lasting pickups.
Now get 0% financing or an average $11,506 in total values on the 2017 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab.
Is this my car? State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Is this my car?
This is ridiculous!
This is ridiculous. Ah!
From car insurance to car loans, State Farm is here to help life go right.
Managing blood sugar is not a marathon. It's a series of smart choices, like using Glucerna to replace one meal or snack a day. Glucerna products have up to 15 grams of protein to help manage hunger, and Carb Steady, unique blends of slow-release carbs to help minimize blood sugar spikes. Every meal, every craving. It's the choices you make when managing blood sugar that are the real victories. Glucerna, everyday progress.
A heart attack doesn't care what you eat or how healthy you look. No matter who you are, a heart attack can happen without warning. A Bayer aspirin regimen can help prevent another heart attack. Be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen. Bayer aspirin.
Spring is on, so it's time to get started. But first things first, call True Green, America's #1 professional lawn care company. Millions of homeowners like you trust us to give them a lawn they can live on. And tailored care plans ensure their lawns get exactly what they need to thrive. Guaranteed. That means you can do more of this, 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 and this. Okay, maybe not this. Start your True Green lawn plan today for only $29.95 and live life outside.
Let me talk to you about retirement. A 401k is the most sound way to go. Let's talk asset allocation. Sure.
You seem knowledgeable, professional.
I'm actually a DJ.
No way.
That really is you.
If they're not a CFP pro, you just don't know. CFP, work with the highest standard.
Welcome back to our coverage of severe weather. Still some ongoing severe thunderstorm warnings right now. There appears to be less of a tornado threat after several hours of tornado warnings, especially in western parts of Tennessee, northern Mississippi as well. You can see this really vigorous feature that is now coming through the middle Mississippi Valley, right in there. Big curly Q there. And on the south and east side of that, there are stronger mid-level winds. We often talk about where the mid-level winds get together with low-level warmth and humidity. That's where you've got the deep layer shear that is necessary for more organized storm structures. And of course, you need the warmth and the humidity. And that's beginning to go away right now. It's still warm across a good part of this area, but not as warm as it was obviously earlier in the day. And you can see where the deep layer shear is right in there. So we still do have some warnings, but gradually as it continues to cool off, we're going to see less and less of a severe threat. Now there are some severe warnings here within this line that's coming down across 65. We're having a little bit of an issue with our computer, so it's not outlining the warnings, but there are warnings here. Some stronger wind now coming down across 65, and I can show you where this is generally going to be headed. You see that little bit of a bow right there? That's moving down towards the southeast, and so that'll be moving into Chapel Hill near the top of the hour. Actually, I'm going to move that just a little farther south and east to catch up there, right in there. Okay, that's about right. Shelbyville 824, Flat Creek 830, and Tullahoma 852. Some very strong wind likely headed your way. Then to the south, warning here in the Birmingham metro area. That little segment now moving into the northeast side of the metro. And again, damaging wind is going to be the concern, along with possible quarter-size hail. That's lifting up to the northeast, coming towards Center Point, Grayson Valley, Trussville, and Leeds. Also some warnings on these two cells in eastern parts of Alabama. Look at the hail core right there, talking about the possibility of golf ball size hail coming up towards Route 411. That'll be moving into Ellisville and Bomar, as well as Alexis over the next few minutes. Also another cell to the northwest of that, and it's got a hail core as well, potential for some very large hail near Turkeytown, and that's going to be coming up towards Route 68, Leesburg 759, getting into Round Mountain at 809, and Congo at about 820. So ongoing severe weather, Mike, but we do expect that it's gradually going to be settling down through tonight. Over to you.
Listen to that.
Some big thuds.
I think I heard a couple of chunks of ice. Yep, that's hailstones. Look at them out the window there. A lot of wind that went with those as well. Those hailstones pounding a metal roof just above.
Yeah, I mean,
oh, there I heard a couple.
that's not a good feeling when you hear something like that, especially if you knew your car was parked out in the lot, because you have a feeling it's going to end up looking like this.
Oh.
This is Argyle, Texas, where softball-sized hail broke this windshield.
And not just once, 2, 3, 4 times. It put a lot of dents in it too. But you got to stay in there. As much as you cringe when this happens, you got to stay in your car and just ride it out.
Yep.
Because you don't want to get hit by that hail.
No, you don't want to be out in that. And looks like a couple people in front of him are kind of hogging the area under the awning.
Could you imagine if you had like a new car?
No. Actually, that would be exactly what would happen.
Like, oh my goodness, you'd be like laugh crying.
Yeah. You'd be like, I can't make this up, but I can't believe this just happened.
And this can be expensive repairs. I remember I had hail damage to one of my vehicles once. They actually totaled it.
Right.
It was totally drivable, but there were so many dents in it, it would cost them more to repair it than replace it.
Yeah, you're driving around in a golf ball.
Right. Dimpled.
Yeah.
Totally. All right, so hail is certainly in our forecast. If you look through the remainder of the evening, this area that's highlighted in this pink color here, maybe around, say, Jackson, Tennessee, down toward Tupelo, bigger risk for hail for you tonight.
Right. Nashville, at least a medium chance for hail, same for Birmingham. But when we look at wind, we get a little farther eastward progression with that threat. So you're going to be watching for that around Nashville. Actually, I've seen some damage reports, trees down around Nashville from storms earlier.
Threat returns tomorrow, so we could be looking for big hailers from Amarillo, Abilene down towards St. Angelo, Dallas and Oklahoma City on I-35 here. Watch for some big storms for you too.
Yeah, Torcon values in the 3 to 4 range, 4 for Midland and Wichita Falls, 3 for Amarillo. So depending on where you fall, but for Midland, 40% chance of a tornado within 50 miles.
All right, so we'll watch it for you here on the Weather Channel. When we come back, hey, you know what? Winter's not over yet in parts of New England. We're going to have details on how much snow is falling for us. Plus, things ain't so peachy, by the way, and the weather is the reason why.
Get into Olive Garden now for our lunch duos. Choose your favorite pasta, piadina, or sandwich. It all comes with our never-ending super salad and all the breadsticks you want, starting at just $6.99. Get never-ending value for lunch today at Olive Garden.
Hey, searching for a great used car?
Yeah.
You got it. Just say, show me millions of used cars for sale at the all-new Carfax.com.
I don't want one that's had a big wreck.
Just say, show me cars with no accidents reported. Pretty cool.
I like it.
That's the power of Carfax. Find the cars you want, avoid the ones you don't. Plus, you get a free Carfax report with every listing. Start your used car search at Carfax.com.
There's an opportunity in every window. A view connecting in here to an entire world of out there. So start your day opening the window to your weather with AMHQ. Watch Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno looking out at the stories and the science behind your forecast. Open up your mornings with AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
Hey, where are you going? We've got that thing. You know, diarrhea, abdominal pain. But we said we'd be there. Who makes the decisions around here? It's me. Don't think I'll make it. Stomach again. Send.
If you're living with frequent, unpredictable diarrhea and abdominal pain, you may have irritable bowel syndrome with diarrhea or IBS-D, a condition that can be really frustrating. Talk to your doctor about Viberzi, a different way to treat IBS-D. Viberzi is a prescription medication you take every day that helps proactively manage both diarrhea and abdominal pain at the same time, so you stay ahead of your symptoms. Viberzi can cause new or worsening abdominal pain. Do not take Viberzi if you have or may have had pancreas or severe liver problems, problems with alcohol abuse, long-lasting or severe constipation, or a blockage of your bowel or gallbladder. If you're taking Viberzi, you should not take medicines that cause constipation. The most common side effects of Viberzi include constipation, nausea, and abdominal pain. Stay ahead of IBS-D with Viberzi.
For fast relief from sinus and allergy symptoms without drugs, get Navage. Navage is the only nasal irrigator with gentle, powered suction.
My doctor recommends Navage to breathe better through my nose, and it works.
For a risk-free trial, go to Navage.com now.
The beer that's as refreshing as refreshment gets. Meinenkugel's Summer Shandy.
If you like Copperfit before, you're going to love the new Pro.
Introducing the next generation in Copperfit compression garments, Copperfit Pro.
I think the Copperfit Pro is for everybody. They will love this product.
With Copperfit Pro, my mobility has improved tremendously. I'm quicker on the court.
High-performance copper-infused compression, woven with targeted kinesiology technology to aid in faster recovery and performance and guaranteed relief of muscle aches and pains.
What I discovered immediately, the aches and pains diminished. The Copperfit Pro is amazing.
Call 1-800-589-1217 or on the web at copperfitpro.com. Get your elbow or knee sleeve for only $19.99. Order right now and your shipping is free.
Doesn't matter what you do, just take it to the next level with Copperfit Pro.
Feel the power of Copperfit compression. Live limitless.
Start your day with Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno, opening the window to your weather on AMHQ. Mornings on the Weather Channel.
Well, plenty of springtime severe weather to talk about, but there's still some winter weather out there, believe it or not. Our winter weather expert Tom Nizzle joining us now to pick out those few unlucky ones that have yet to hit spring.
Yeah, and you got to go far north for this, right? So we're going to go into northern New England. Now, there's going to be moisture pulled north into places like New York City, Boston in the form of rain. But that cold air is just hanging on in northern New England here, across Maine in particular. I'm amazed to see it even this late in the year. And if we go through the rest of the night here, in a place like Caribou, the snow is going to continue for a few hours yet. It's not going to be until about, the midnight hour going into 1, 2 in the morning that snow is eventually going to let up. You take a look at the total snowfall here. Again, the far tip of Maine and a place like Caribou, they could see another 5 to 6 inches of snow. So I got to ask you the question, how much snow do you think they have on the ground right now? Oh, it's the end of March, right? Place like Caribou?
20 to 30 inches.
I was going to say less. I was going to say like a foot.
Okay, so let's take a look here. Right now, they've got a whopping 23 inches of snow on the ground. Compared to last year, they only had 11.
My goodness.
I had to go in and do a little bit of stats here, okay? So the next question, how many days in a row do you think they've had greater than 20 inches or more snow on the ground? How many days in a row?
35.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I'll go big this time. 60.
All right, let's take a look here and see. Right now, if we total this up, they've had 87 days. Think about this, since December 30th. And with that 23 inches of snow on the ground, if it stays cold, they could actually go up toward the record here, 100 days back in 1955. So now the one to blow you away. How many days do you think they've had at least a foot of snow depth on the ground in Caribou, Maine this winter?
Now I got to go.
So we're at 87.
115.
Okay.
I'm gonna do like the prices right here.
Okay.
116.
I can't believe this. Let's just take a quick look here because they've actually had 116 days. He gets it. That is it. Way to go. Price is Right. I have no prizes to offer. But the takeaway is, since November 30th, they've had a foot or more snow on the ground. It's been an amazing winter up there. That's the icebox of the Northeast, as far as I'm concerned. And this year, they are just gobbed in snow. Over 100 days of snow, greater than a foot of snow on the ground. It's amazing.
You stink, but good job.
Great job, though. I was ready to give you the prize.
I was really close, but Price is Right style. He beat me.
It warms up, by the way, though, tomorrow. And for a lot of you in the Northeast, like a place like New York, you're going to get rainier conditions that come your way. And eventually in Maine, the rain overtakes the snow, too.
Right. And in New York or wherever you are, you can take the Weather Channel with you. You're looking at Local Now. Get instant access to local news, traffic, and sports, plus weather alerts and live severe coverage anytime, anywhere, localized and customized just for you. Stream on. All right. Now it is time for you to sound off. Oh, I hear myself in my ear, and it messed me up.
There's a little bit of an echo. So,
yeah. I'm not crazy. It's the voices in my head. So you gotta.
You have voices in your head. So tonight, Brandon's here with us, answering a few of your questions on Twitter.
Yeah. So let's answer this one from Thomas earlier. Nothing but light rain in northwest Georgia right now. Still a chance for severe weather.
Yeah, you're under the severe thunderstorm watch there in northwest Georgia, and we think late tonight, really into the early morning hours, could bring a good opportunity.
All right, so you take a look at the radar, and you can see that the storms will be rolling through for us here. And just watch for the rumbles overnight tonight, and tomorrow morning you may have a little bit of wet drive as you head out in Atlanta.
And that's your land, you mentioned.
Yep.
So
my homie's up in Rome, so heads up, a little severe weather tonight, and then we quiet off again.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for your questions this evening. You want to join the conversation, you can use the hashtag WUTV, and we'll be answering your questions every single night right here on the Weather Channel. All right. Again, find us on Twitter. Well, in tonight's open mic, things aren't so peachy. After unseasonably warm temperatures in February, earlier this month, a hard freeze set in across the Deep South. Well, that freeze was the undoing of many fruit crops that we all love, including the peach. Temperatures in the Midlands of South Carolina dropped to 22 degrees. Columbia has only been that cold that late in the season twice before, back in 1985 and 1967. This was truly devastating. Even there was snow. These cold temperatures cost the state about $80 million, unfortunately. But it wasn't just South Carolina. So let's talk about the top peach-producing states. California produces 1.2 billion pounds of peaches every single year. About 75% of the country's peaches come from California. Number 2, though, is South Carolina, that produces 138 million pounds of peaches. But we wiped out 90% of the crop. So this year, just 13.8 million pounds. Georgia, the peach state, is actually the 3rd biggest producer. We wiped out 80% of this crop in Georgia because of cold temperatures. We'll only have 16.4 million pounds of peaches. Not to mention, Georgia is actually the 2nd biggest blueberry producer in the country. Georgia's blueberry crop wiped out by 90%. Well, what does all this mean? Well, it means that we'll actually be importing quite a bit of our peaches now, especially across our southern states from places like China and Chile. And what that means is we may also be paying more because we're importing. Things obviously aren't so peachy because of the weather.
We've got much more to come on Weather Underground. Tomorrow, we're tracking another round of severe weather. We'll likely have 3 hours of special coverage, storm trackers live in the field, too. Kelly Williamson, he's getting himself ready for tomorrow. I know he'll be out there, as well as a lot of folks. Yesterday was a big day, and we anticipate tomorrow will be the same.
Yes, it will. Well, for all of us here at Weather Underground, thank you so much for watching.
Have a great night. Remember, together we know more. See ya.
deadly power lines dance around your car. And the earth threatens to swallow you whole. Can you avoid a thundering landslide?
Is it really worth your life?
They got killer bees down there. Don't go that way.
Or escape a swarm of furious bees?
Are they chasing you?
From a scorcher in the sun
Second-degree sun blister burn.
to a sub-zero nightmare.
I've been stuck out here going on 10 hours.
Mother Nature makes the rules.
Natural disasters, extreme and unexpected danger. You will choose your fate.
Oh my God.
Oh my God!
You're standing on your back porch when you see a terrifying specter taking shape in the clouds.
Look at this flying! Get in the house!
Hypnotized by its awesome power, you watch as the ominous funnel chews through neighborhood homes.
It's coming toward us.
Go! Read that north side, get in!
Snap out of it.
Oh my God!
This tornado is coming straight at you. How would you survive this violent twister? Should you, A, keep watching the tornado to track where it's going? B, open all doors and windows to balance the internal and external air pressure? Or C, take cover in the basement to avoid flying debris? The choice is yours, but what are you really up against?
Tornadoes are spinning very, very fast, 200, 300 miles an hour sometimes. But their forward speed is much, much slower, moving maybe 10 to 40 miles an hour in most cases. Tornadoes occur across Europe, across Asia, Bangladesh, China, some even in South America. But by far, the biggest tornado risk, the biggest hazard is from the violent supercells that form in the Midwest and high plains of the United States.
Every year, nearly 1,000 tear through the heartland. The largest ones are over a mile wide.
A tornado is nothing more than an interaction between air currents. We have downdraft air versus updraft air, and they meet and they kind of exchange each other vertically, and that's where a tornado was born.
So whenever you're under that tornado warning, these days, if it's radar indicated and they're talking about seeing debris, there is a deadly, destructive tornado on the ground.
Twisters can cause billions of dollars in property damage and take dozens of lives. Neighborhoods gone. Semis tossed like toys. Nothing is safe, including you.